There we go. You guys should hear me now. Let me know. And we'll get started. So for those who are just tuning in, we have a very strong thunderstorm coming into the Metro Detroit region. The National Weather Service in Detroit has issued this severe thunderstorm warning. Very, very strong storm. We're actually seeing it right now on our live Skycam. This is from the Storm Guard Roofing and Construction Skycam in Lake Orion, looking directly into it. As you can see, a very, very large rain shaft there in the background. This is looking south towards the storm. We'll go ahead and read off this severe thunderstorm warning. National Weather Service in Detroit has issued this for southern Oakland and all of Macomb County, or most of Macomb County, until 6:30 p.m. At 5:35, a severe thunderstorm is located near West Bloomfield, or 7 miles east of Milford, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Hazards with this storm are 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some quarter-size hail also possible with this storm. It is radar indicated. The severe thunderstorm will be near Pontiac, West Bloomfield around 5:40, Troy, Rochester around 5:50, Macomb Township around 6:10, New Baltimore and Richmond around 6:20. Other locations impacted by this severe thunderstorm do include Rochester Hills, Kego Harbor, Waterford, Orchard Lake, Shelby Township, Clawson, Commerce, Ray Center, Sylvian Lake, and Utica. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Kind of the same rules as any severe thunderstorm or tornado warning would be. You want to be moving away from those exterior walls. We're looping the radar right now. It's heading right into downtown Pontiac first, and then eventually Rochester Hills and Troy, as you can see there. So that is what we have going on at the current time. This is the only severe thunderstorm warning in the state. We'll go back to that live cam. Very, very strong storm. You can actually kind of see a little bit of an edge on it. Go ahead and enable our zoom here. There's the left side of the storm. And of course there's the right side. It's picking in. There's been a little bit of inflow being noted into this storm as well. These storms today could become supercellular in nature given the wind profiles out there. We did launch a weather balloon for those who missed it today on our Facebook page. And again, that data has shown to us that there is decent wind out there today. A lot of moisture and, of course, enough instability for severe thunderstorms. Besides what's going on right now over in Oakland and Macomb County, we do have a very large cluster of cells that are currently strong in nature but not severe, moving across the southern Michigan, southwest Michigan region, Cass County, St. Joseph County. Most of the winds right now are associated with this cell that is down in Elkhart and Waukesha, Indiana, and this is going to be moving into, perhaps if it continues to slide northeast, into St. Joseph and Branch County in the hour to come. So there is a large, basically open warm sector right now. Go back to the radar here, excuse me. This is the cell we're talking about right here near Elkhart. It's moving northeast into St. Joseph in Branch County. No winds right now that are severe, but they could be up to about 40 miles per hour as they continue off to the northeast. Let me go ahead and see if I can... Actually, no, I won't do that. I'll just continue to have the radar full screen for you guys because this is the most important thing right now. What I was mentioning here about the opening warm sector is it's all across southeast Michigan. So anywhere you see it in this area where there's no cells at all, temperatures right now are in the 80s. In fact, you can see right here, 79 Hillsdale, 80 degrees Adrian. We have over here in Ann Arbor, 80 degrees, 81 down in, I believe that's going to be Lambertville, and 79 over in Monroe. So there's a large open warm sector that is just going to be fueling further storm development this evening as we get closer to the 6, 7, 8, and 9 o'clock hours. And that radio you hear in the background is our chasers. They are all out and about, all on that cell that is moving into southwest Michigan near Constantine and Sturgis. A lot of lightning on that. You can see right there as I circle on the radar near Middlebury. That is a large swath of lightning coming in. So you do not want to be outside for a multitude of reasons. Number one, of course, being lightning. Number two, the storm could easily go severe in the minutes to come. And in fact, given the fact that it's on the frontal edge of this storm with clear inflow to the south, this cell is likely going to continue its strength and build as it heads into Michigan. But going back to our cell that is currently severe thunderstorm warned, we'll go ahead and toggle off those METAR stations where the temperatures are at. This cell does have a little bit of a hook on it, but the main concern right now is going to be gusty winds, torrential downpour, and of course frequent cloud-to-ground lightning. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail is what the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for. So again, this includes eastern Oakland County, and of course pretty much all of Macomb County. You can see the orange box on your screen there. That is the outline of this severe thunderstorm warning. So if you're down in Warren, St. Clair Shores, East Point, or up to the north near Elmont and north of Romeo out there near the Proving Grounds, and you guys aren't actually in the severe thunderstorm warning, this orange box kind of cuts the county into thirds. These storms are continuing to track off to the east, east-northeast at 45 miles per hour. If you have any damage reports with this cell specifically right now, again, severe thunderstorm warned, so winds could be up to 60, or you could have some 1-inch hail mixing in. Feel free to message the page. The best way to get those reports over to us, though, is on Facebook. We have a group called Michigan Weather Reports. You can type that in your search bar on Facebook, join the group, and submit your damage reports as needed with a date, time, a specific location if possible, and if it's hail, a good measurement. So if it is if you have a ball or a coin just laying around, that's the best way to measure hailstones if they are occurring. But the main threat tonight with any storm is going to be those 60-mile-per-hour winds, a lot of what we call D-Cape in the area, downdraft Cape, and those values are sufficient enough for a lot of what we call microbursts, where these storms are collapsing and winds are spreading out in all directions. At the bottom of the screen, we have our active alert bar, along with the highest active alert showing. The severe thunderstorm warning is the current highest active alert, and it's actually the only alert in the state that is severe. We also have a special weather statement in effect, but the warning kind of supersedes that, as that is higher ranked than the special weather statement. Special weather statement, for those who are new here, is basically a step below a severe thunderstorm warning, and you can see that is denoted by this tan box where the storm was previously strong. Now it's gotten to severe. Going to the north, yeah, what's up? Yep. Going to the north here real quick, there is a storm that does not have any alerts on it here in, this is going to be Shiawassee County, heading up towards Durand and Schwartz Creek. A lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. The velocity scan shows that winds could be in excess of 40 miles per hour, so it could be worthy of a statement here in the minutes to come. And if we go over to our vertically integrated liquid product and our CC, there are some indications that we could see these uniform droplets changing to small hailstones. So if you're in Bancroft, Durand, over towards Gaines and Schwartz Creek, be on alert. You could have some small hail, maybe some 40-mile-per-hour winds rolling in soon, but at the current time, no alerts for you guys there. A couple cells along the I-69 corridor from Charlotte up to Potterville into Lansing right now. No concerns there. And we'll go ahead and flip back down to our northern Indiana radar, where there, again, is a lot of lightning with these cells. Very, very strong storm. Winds here. Surprised there's not a statement on it. Or is there a statement on it there yet, Ryan? He's busy. Okay. Yeah, there's no statement on this. Oh, you're good. No statement on it, but it is producing quite a punch there. You can see all of those lightning strikes scattered across the region from Elkhart down to Goshen. And that storm is continuing to eke closer to St. Joseph County, where all of our chasers are at. Speaking of chasers, we'll go ahead and cycle through our list of chasers here. See if anyone's live. We do have Clayton live out there. We'll go ahead and take him for a moment.
10-4, I've got a beautiful open view for about 2 miles.
That storm is continuing to eke closer to St. Joseph County, where all of our chasers are at. Speaking of chasers, we'll go ahead and cycle.
Yeah, it's Clayton.
Copy that. I'll make some room right here for you.
See if anyone's live. We do have Clayton.
So he is right on the state line. You can see their dots just to the southwest of Sturgis, and they are looking right into the storm as it comes into the state. Further north into Kalamazoo, Paw Paw, Decatur, lots of cloud-to-ground lightning ongoing there. Very strong storms. We'll be watching that line too, as there's some decent shear ongoing up and down that line. And with, again, as we mentioned, the shear profiles today being the way they are, we cannot count out a brief spin-up or two. I got your camera in now, Ryan. Mm-hmm. Changing some velocity on the radar real quick. Again, we're watching this little area right now near Franklin, south of Bloomfield Hills. There's a little bit of a hook on that, which makes it look like a tiny little supercell. We always are going to watch that southernmost notch where the inflow is the strongest into the storm. You can see it kind of latches up with our velocity data, our wind speeds inbound and outbound from the radar site, denoted in reds and greens. When we look for the reds and greens close together, we have to make sure that it's not rotation. In this case right now, it looks like it's just primarily straight line winds. And in this case, there's also a downburst ongoing in Keego Harbor. So Keego Harbor, Pontiac, Bloomfield Hills, even down towards Birmingham, there's obviously, with the severe thunderstorm warning right now, the chance for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Obviously, not everyone in this warning box is going to get those, but please be advised that damaging winds are the primary factor. And we're also watching the hook, the bottom portion of the cell, for a little bit of rotation. The current time, though, all straight line winds.
I didn't really see too much.
What's up?
I'm more curious about this line that seems to be coming from North Sturgis.
Oh, your desktop audio?
Just need the Wakarusa.
There you go. Now
There you go.
now you can be heard.
Hi, guys.
However, I drove through it like
New
maybe 20
incoming
minutes ago, so
statement now for the White Pigeon area for that cell I was just talking about. I was muted. That cell down in the southwest of Goshen, north of Napanee, has been producing brief and broad rotation with it as it progresses to the northeast. So if that continues, it would head toward the Sturgis area, but it's got a good ways to go. But I just want to keep a close eye, as Joel was talking about a few seconds ago. There is instances, or there is potential at least, for some rotation with these storms with the way the environment is shaping up and has shaped up. Looks like that cell is some pretty gusty winds there just south of the Elkhart, Indiana area. Up toward Bristol. If that does continue off to the northeast, it will hold together and moving toward White Pigeon and Sturgis in the southern part of St. Joseph County.
Yeah, I would say at this point, don't be fooled by what's ongoing out there. With the fact that there's no storms ongoing across Jackson, Washtenaw, Hillsdale, Lenawee, Monroe counties, you guys are, as I mentioned, well into that warm sector. And as these storms continue to move east tonight, these storms are going to latch onto all that fuel that's available and continue to be strong to probably severe in nature. So if you are in Branch, Hillsdale, Jackson, Washtenaw, Lenawee, Monroe, even the counties surrounding those, you do want to be on alert for severe weather this evening as our threat continues. And it'll start to dwindle by around 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. So we got another couple hours here for this severe weather event. I am currently in the process, Ryan, of getting a 9-panel view up for myself on our camera network. So if you want to take over talking for just a minute while I put some cameras on, that would be awesome.
Sure thing. So if you want to take my screen as well, I am live with my radar. There we go. So as Joel's just mentioning, if you are not over there in southeast Michigan where this severe warning is, there is several storms pushing up into the state, currently into the Kalamazoo area in the Three Rivers area. And this is going to head toward up Jackson, Lansing, the 94 corridor, And also looking down here further south, this is heading up the direction toward Toledo, perhaps southeast Michigan, like Adrian, Monroe areas, very later on tonight. So it may be dry out there for some of you across the state. For example, they're in Jackson, bone dry right now, but we have storms coming. And yes, these do have a potential for some severe weather with these. So go ahead and pause this, kind of zoom in here, take a peek at what's going on. This cell is heading up into Goshen, Indiana, Millbury, and eventually towards Sturgis. We see a nice gust front with this. Also some signs of brief rotation. And then also up here, the current warning up in the Oakland County area, Macomb, Oakland County. This has actually got a nice gust front on it now, heading up toward Birmingham, Rochester Hills, Rochester, Oakland University, Yates, Stony Creek, Utica, Sterling Heights, Shelby Charter Township, Washington Township, Macomb Township, and eventually toward New Haven and Richmond areas in the next couple of minutes. So animating this is your gust front velocity. The brighter the reds, the more intense the winds are. We're seeing the most intense winds currently over Bloomfield Hills and Oak Grove neighborhoods at the I-75 and M59 exchanges here, just to the east of US 24. Troy will be on deck for this. Big Beaver, Rochester Hills again, and also the Whispering Winds neighborhoods, as well as Weaver Acres neighborhoods on deck for this gusty line of storms here. There's your radar. As you can see, the heaviest rain located over Auburn Hills down to about Bloomfield Hills. And that is moving off to the east with a little bit of northward movement with that. In the next 30 or so minutes, it'll cross Macomb County and then eventually into St. Clair about an hour or so. I did went ahead and trim that warning back, so White Lake, Waterford Township, West Bloomfield Township no longer included. Taking it back down here to the Kalamazoo area, checking out the wind velocity on this cluster. Currently nothing too impressive. There's a couple instances in there of some gustier downbursts, perhaps by Paw Pal, Almena, Decatur, Dowagiac areas, but nothing that really sticks out that screams strong or severe at this point in time. That could change, though, and that's why we're live here, tracking the severe over there in eastern Michigan, but also keeping a close eye on the cells over there further south and west. Also up by Durand, heading up toward Burton, Flint, and Swartz Creek, we have a cell, perhaps with some small hail and some gusty winds, not currently statemented or warned for anything, but it does appear to be a little gusty in nature with perhaps some pea-sized hail over Durand, heading up toward the Swartz Creek area. Gonna take a peek. This is the cell in Indiana heading up our direction. That's clear air.
Yep.
Maybe it's not clear air. I think it is. Okay. Just the one storm currently that is severe warned. We're going to focus over on that. Zoom it back in here to our velocity. And we're just going to take a peek right here. We're just going to leave the radar pulled up. So Rochester, Rochester Hills, and Troy be the next cities on deck.
So it should have some cameras up now. I've also been looking at the environment again behind the scenes. Right now there is surface-based CAPE. Again, we're looking for values of about 1,000. That's the magic number for those who are curious. Here in southern Michigan, we do have 1,000 joules of CAPE right now. Again, that's our instability factor. So basically the general juice that we have to fuel these storms. There's also a little bit of a capping inversion, which is going to keep these storms semi-discrete in nature throughout the night. If we have too weak of a cap, then we would have a giant just conglomerate of cells, which is kind of what's happening a little bit further to the north and west back in southwest Michigan. But as these storms cross across the south of I-94, Again, it's in that area where there's a weak capping inversion in place that are only going to allow the strongest of storms to kind of filter through. And this whole weak cap goes all the way over into eastern Michigan, where this cell is currently ongoing on your screen. And it does have a severe thunderstorm warning on it. So semi-discrete cells are possible throughout this evening. And as we go into the overnight hour, we will start to see the low pressure system move in from the south and bring in just a whole lot of rain with it tonight, and including a washout likely for your day on Sunday.
We do need the rain though, Joel. So any rain, even if it's a washout for tomorrow, we need it. So
Absolutely.
We'll take it.
So that severe thunderstorm warning does continue until 6:30, I believe, maybe later. Hold on. Yeah, 6:30. Moving off to the east at 45 miles per hour, hazards of 60 mile per hour winds, quarter-sized hail. And at the current time, there is no tornado possible. But again, with the shear vectors out there tonight, we cannot rule out a tornado or two. Current time, though, with this cell moving into Macomb County, Sterling Heights, Utica, Shelby, it is just a damaging wind threat. You still want to take it seriously because, again, it can bring down, these damaging winds, straight line winds, can bring down just as many trees as a weak tornado would. So keep that in mind as these storms head down the M59 corridor towards Utica and Big Beaver Road towards Sterling Heights. Current time, though, is 6 o'clock. We just rolled over to 6 o'clock. Again, I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma alongside Ryan right below me there. Again, we're the Michigan Storm Chasers. We do these live coverages all the time for all severe weather events, so feel free to follow along if you are new here. And, of course, as always, like and share. And we will stay live until these warnings are done for the night. Likely going to be live for another couple hours here as these storms are just getting underway for both eastern Michigan and southern Michigan. And the primary factor, or the primary location we're looking at tonight for the severe weather is going to be primarily south, along and south of 96. You could also say as you get over into the thumb, south of 69. So that whole corridor that runs from Muskegon over to Grand Rapids, over to Lansing, over to Flint, and over to Sarnia in Ontario, anywhere south of that tonight is at some sort of risk for a low-end severe event. As a reminder, if you guys didn't catch our severe weather forecast on our Facebook page yesterday, the odds a storm is going to produce 60 mile per hour winds is around 5 to 15%. So if you look at this optimistically, it's an 85 to 95% chance that if you do get a storm tonight, it's not going to have severe winds. You can use the same technique for the tornado threat tonight. It's a lot lower. It's a 3 to 5% chance that you get a tornado with any storm. So that in turn would be a 95 to 98% chance that you are not, or 95 to 97% chance that you are not going to get a tornado with a storm tonight. So very, very low odds for damaging winds and tornadoes, but it's still not zero. So you do want to be taking into account that severe weather can and may impact you tonight across southern Michigan.
Joel, check out Chat G.
Okay.
There is a wall cloud reported on this severe cell via Train Spotter.
Oh, wow. It almost kind of looks like it has a little bit of a scud in it, too, but that's definitely a wall cloud.
I'm getting that posted right now.
So as a reminder, when we see a wall cloud in a storm, that does mean that there is a little bit of rotation or some sort of centralized location for the mesocyclone, that it's starting to kind of introduce some inflow into the storm and perhaps get it to rotate weakly. Yeah, go ahead.
Check out the latest scan just west of Big Beaver. It's very, very, it's like clear air, but like it's trying to curve on itself. Let me know what you think about that.
Take your radar back there. I don't have Big Beaver.
Just south of Troy, north of Clawson. Like the hook is becoming very defined and the velocity is starting to increase on that. I'd be watching very closely.
Yeah, at the very least, this is definitely some gusty winds. Right over 75 there on the east side of Pontiac.
I saw
Troy.
this down here. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said in Troy.
I saw the velocity come together right down here, and I lined it up. It doesn't really match, but this is a very impressive hook. We have a wall cloud confirmation visually from trained spotters here that we're chatting with here behind the scenes. So this is something to keep a close eye on here as this moves through the eastern half of Oakland, now into western Macomb in a few minutes. Horse is going up on that wall cloud.
Okay. Latest scan continues it. Now pretty much fully on the east side of 75 there in Troy. Going right down Long Lake Road, crossing over Livernois Road as well. I might be pronouncing that wrong, I do apologize. And heading over Rochester Road, south of Square Lake Road. So a lot of different areas. There's also gusty winds all up and down this line. So away from the hook that you can see on radar here, go switch back. If you go all the way up to Rochester Hills of Rochester, there is gusty winds all the way up inside of this just giant rain shower. It's continuing towards Shelby, even up towards Romeo, but mainly down here towards Shelby, Utica, and Sterling Heights.
Joel, this zone's about to move right over top of me.
And again, we're watching this southern area of the hook. Where we see this hook is at, that is going to be the any rotation, if there is any, is going to be where it's located. So that's why we keep mentioning it. At the current time, it looks a little messy, but it's still producing some strong to severe winds, as denoted by the severe thunderstorm warning. Perfect, I pronounced it correctly. Thank you, guys. I was going to say, just a little bit off topic here, and I was just about to go get food, and I would have jinxed it either way, so it was Ryan's fault. But again, we go back to the storm just across the border heading towards Sturgis right now. Again, gusty winds continue, special weather statement in effect just south of Constantine heading up towards Sturgis. Very, very strong storm with a lot of lightning and some gusty winds up to 40 miles per hour. So Sturgis, Bronson want to be on alert here as it heads towards St. Joseph and Branch counties. Still a little bit of ways right now. We go up into the Kalamazoo and Portage area. More strong storms ongoing, primarily just a lightning threat at the current time, as these storms are kind of tucked in behind the rain, and it's kind of cutting off its instability, its fuel for these storms to become stronger. Still, with a lot of shear out there tonight, you can still have quick little spin-ups anywhere there is a shower or thunderstorm ongoing, so we'll keep an eye on those. Also, a couple cells across the region from Hastings to Vermontville up towards Lansing, and even up in towards Langsburg, and even in towards Flushing as well. That cell continues to head towards Flint with quite a punch to it in terms of gusty winds, but not severe winds. So still could be about 34 miles per hour in nature, but it's not severe.
Joel, I'm going to take the Easy Station, just so you're aware. I have cameras pulled up now.
Okay.
If you want me to pull something up, I'm free to do that.
Yep. So for those just tuning in, we just only have one severe thunderstorm warning in the state. It is for far eastern Oakland County and west central Macomb County. I should just say all of central Macomb County, not including this northern portion and the southern portion towards Warren and St. Clair shores. And this will continue towards Lake St. Clair and New Baltimore in the next half hour. Again, this warning's in effect until 6:30 p.m., so it's got another 23 minutes on it. And the hazards with this remain 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. And I will say at this point, it does look like there's no hail threat anymore. Vertically integrated liquid product is picking up on a little bit of a hint of hail, but as you can see on your base velocity radar, which is these reds and greens, A lot of wind pushing in towards Utica, Shelby, and Sterling Heights as it crosses into Macomb County. So if you know anybody in Macomb County specifically, this is the next location for this severe thunderstorm. So Shelby, Utica, Sterling Heights, as I keep mentioning here, down towards Katy and Fraser. And eventually Mount Clemens, St. Clair Haven, and New Baltimore. All these locations going to be impacted over the next half hour. Now, the unfortunate news, Ryan, is we don't have any weather cameras in Macomb County that we can look at this storm, but we will take any views that you guys have behind the scenes. So if you have any damage reports you want to send in, feel free to message the page or submit them to our Michigan, I can't say it, Michigan Weather Reports group chat on Facebook.
Excuse me. Joel, I have a pretty interesting scene here pulled up on the WT Forestry camera. Talked about it earlier, but there's a lot of moisture getting sucked up out of the woods here.
Oh, wow.
In this area. This is in Scotts, which is just south of Kalamazoo, south and a bit east. Looking to the west here on the WT Forestry tower cam. Very interesting. Got some nice fall color in there. Got the shower and storm moving in, and also very cool seeing that moisture get sucked right up out of the woods.
Shout out to WT Forestry. Again, our first tower cam in our network of live weather cameras. They're now up to 65. It's been a while since some of you guys have probably heard from us, and you might not follow us on our social media pages, but we just surpassed 65 weather cameras in the state of Michigan, and we are continuing to install more throughout the upcoming weeks. And again, we'll have our forms reopening for 2026 in the future. Orion, I believe we wiped out their stock right now, so we're still trying to play catch up. But again, if you have any locations that are good views for perhaps putting in a weather camera, you can reach out to us and sponsor a camera in 2026. Now, I just mentioned that Macomb County does not have any weather cameras. That is true. We have some nearby cameras over in Oakland, but as the storm continues further into Macomb County, we don't have any sponsors in Macomb County that have a camera. So if that's you, if you want to become a sponsor, feel free to send us a message. You can also email Ryan at michiganstormchasers.com.
That's going to be your tornado producer.
What were they saying in the radio just now?
I didn't catch it.
Because they're back on this storm off to the southwest.
Perhaps some weak rotation south of Mishawaka. That's really all I'm seeing with it right now.
Also some isolated cells starting to pop up as well. Kendallville, North Kendallville, and Rome City, heading up towards Reading and Camden, Michigan. And those could also become quickly prefrontals, as well as some tiny little showers popping up in Lenawee and Washtenaw counties. I did have the airport camera up. I'll keep an eye on it, though. A lot of ominous clouds out there today. And again, with a lot of moisture out there, you're going to see a lot of scud clouds. So those scary-looking clouds that are wispy in nature, a lot of moisture that's falling and just re-evaporating, getting sucked right back into the updraft of the storm. So keep that in mind. The way to differentiate between scud and, of course, a funnel cloud would be if it's rotating or not. So if you see clouds that are or just rising into a storm, then that is usually going to be your scud cloud. And if it's rotating up into the storm, that's usually going to be a funnel cloud. Now, an update on the severe thunderstorm warning. It has been trimmed away from Oakland County. So if you're in Pontiac, Birmingham, Rochester Hills, Troy, Auburn Hills, you guys are good. You're in the clear. Severe thunderstorm warning does continue, though, for central Macomb County, Shelby, Utica, Sterling Heights, Mount Clemens, New Haven, and New Baltimore, including St. Clair Haven as well.
They got a tornado ongoing on the ground. Break. They got a tornado on the ground.
Where?
Correct, Hayden.
Here on the border, I got a camera on the wall coming in.
Give up.
Yep.
One straight. Not seeing anything on this camera there.
He needs to turn on his windshield wiper. Oh, like there you go. It's very hazy.
Yeah, it's hard to see. He's gonna be on the border somewhere. I believe it's going to be just south of White Pigeon.
With a brief tornado on the ground. Where are you? Same spot right on the Indiana.
So that would have touched down in the Indiana side.
That's what I'm thinking here.
So this would be, if we switch it back to the radar here, this is going to be southwest of Sturgis. Get the radar closer here. So Clayton is about 4 miles southwest of Sturgis, looking into this big conglomerate of rain in the Shipshewana, Indiana area. So that would have touched down on the Indiana side of the border. Looking at velocity, it does look like there was a brief period here a moment ago where there are some reds and greens kind of just mixing together just at the right time where it could have produced a quick spin up, and according to Clayton, that is true. So keep an eye on that little line there. But as of last report, he said it has now lifted. So it's on the ground for literally probably like a minute.
Yeah, take his feedback. If you haven't. Okay, he thinks you are. Okay.
Yeah, he's
I
sideways.
gotta pull up my end here. Looks like a nice shelf cloud there. It appears.
Yeah, he's sideways for me. Gonna break my head looking at this. We'll put him in the corner until he fixes his camera. There we go. So I saw a new statement came in. Do you want to read that off?
Yeah, it's a statement up to 40-mile-per-hour winds and includes the Michigan side: Sturgis, Nottawa, White Pigeon, Clingers, Bluff Beach, Fawn River, and Wasabi. It's in effect until 30 more minutes, so 6:45. Ben wants to know if his cam is running.
Checking. It is, yep.
Perfect. Let's come up in the top right corner. Also, not going to forget our friends over in Macomb County. That severe warning continues for the central part of Macomb for 60-mile-per-hour winds. The hail on that cell was dropped from a quarter size down to 3/4 of an inch. So no longer severe hail per the warning, but 60-mile-per-hour winds is still possible. And that storm is moving into Macomb Township right now, Waldenburg, Davis, and it's going to head toward New Haven and Anchor Bay, New Baltimore areas here in the next couple of minutes.
Go ahead.
Area the camera's pointing, we still have rising scud, same area that produced the brief tornado.
Sounds good. Thank you. Again, this is our way of communication. Quick shout out to Rapid Radios for providing this for us. Again, they are locally based here in Michigan. So again, shout out to them. It's all of our chaser communications today. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Macomb County. Winds continue across the, that's going to be Garfield Road, isn't it? State Highway, so that's M59. And I will say the good news is this cell is continuing to shrink in size, still packing a punch. So if you're in Sterling Heights, heading over towards Clinton, this is going your way. Also traveling down 19 Mile, and the stretch between 19 Mile and down to 16 Mile. So Clinton, Sterling Heights, Katy, and over eventually towards Mount Clemens. Warning continues till 6:30, so 12 more minutes on that. We're going to zoom back out and take a nice big picture here at the whole scene. You can see pretty much, as I mentioned, all these storms are staying along and south of that I-69-96 corridor. They are kind of traveling a little bit north, but those storms further to the north tonight, not likely to get severe. They could still be strong. But any severe thunderstorm warnings that you see in those orange boxes on the screen are likely going to stay south. So Branch, Hillsdale, Jackson, Calhoun, Washtenaw, Lenawee, Monroe, Wayne County. We could even see more warnings tonight for Livingston, Oakland, Ingham, maybe, and perhaps even more later tonight for Macomb if the storms can get over there before the atmosphere is overworked.
Sturgis right now.
Wanted to shout out Red Dozier for 20 gifted memberships. Fun Times for 50 gifted memberships over here on YouTube. Thank you guys very much. Also, Red Dozier with a $50 super chat. Fun Times becoming a member for 3 months. EF2 member saying, "Hey y'all, stay safe today. We are going to get through this with the heart emoji. MSC strong. We've got this." Absolutely. Good words of advice there. Again, we are here to keep you guys informed throughout these storms. And right now, besides the storm that's in Macomb County, there's no real concern. Obviously, we had that brief, perhaps spin-up tornado just to the west of LaGrange, is now just producing a shelf cloud. You can see it in Clayton's cam in the bottom left. At the very least, a lot of lightning ongoing. You can see every little speck you can see on radar here. That white little speck, it looks like a lightning bolt. Those are cloud-to-ground lightning bolts moving in to Sturgis primarily, and White Pigeon, already over White Pigeon. Sturgis, Burr Oak up next. Going back to chat, Cindy Davidson back for 16 months here, saying thank you for all you do. Appreciate you guys. No problem. Also, Fun Times back with a $20 super chat saying MST for life. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. But most importantly, stay safe tonight, of course. And stay weather aware. Thank you, Joel, Ryan, Mods, and Chasers for all you do. No problem. Fun Times. Toby back for month number 5 saying I hope you all are being safe tonight. And Tylen with an EF0 membership. Toby, as I mentioned, back for month number 5. And Fun Times with another $20 super chat. So thank you guys very much all for your fan funding. Again, we'll try and catch up to those at the end of the stream when we can, or when there's a break like right now. So if you do want to send in a super chat, we'll go ahead and do that. Yep. It is very, very dark there.
Yeah, he said he's taking some pretty big RFD with this, suggesting that still could be on or touching down somewhere. He's going to be... Okay, he's going to go up and intercept still. He is going to be just southwest of Sturgis, near the township of Scott and Twin Lakes, just across the border, just sitting north of the 8090 interstate that runs basically just south of the Michigan border. Looks like he's close to the Michigan border.
I'm going to go ahead and cycle through our chasers here just to see who all is out there. So Ben, Drew, and Clayton. So just those 3 out there tonight. So we'll keep them at the top of the screen. Actually, we'll go back to Clayton real quick. Unless you think we can go back to radar for sure.
Yeah, all he says is he's going to push forward into the core of this. I also have the Sturgis cam pulled up, and you can start to see the shelf cloud that's going to move in on the left side of your guys' screen there. That'll get a lot better here as the storm moves this direction, but a very photogenic shelf cloud here, perhaps a wall cloud tucked underneath there at some point, probably way off to the left of the screen. That could be producing some rotation right now. We have damage per Clayton.
What'd you say?
Clayton, you can hear me. Go ahead and relay that. What intersection are you on? Please text it to me.
Copy that. I'm gonna try to stay up with this rotation being the way it's moving, but there is structural building damage. Some of it's in the
Are you hearing this, Joel?
He said structure building damage to what?
Structural building damage that's scattered in the road.
Okay.
So again, this is going to be south and west of Sturgis. Probably going to happen on the just across the border in Indiana. It's very close to the border, so we can't confirm if this is happening in Michigan or Indiana at this time. It's basically around the border there, southwest of Sturgis. Intersection roads. I'm looking at general area of Simmel Road or Schimmel. That's going to be the general area.
As a reminder, this storm is not under a severe warning, but it is probably packing more of a punch than our actual severe warning over in Macomb County is right now. You can see it's starting to fizzle out very much right now in Macomb County, so good news there. New statement?
Yeah, Clayton is suggesting this is roof damage minor. He's in a continuous chase. Looks like it's outbuildings.
Okay.
New statement incoming. I do not have. There it is. Looks like it's going to be for Branch County now. So Branch. This is going to be for Southern Branch, wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. And that's going to be Bethel, Batavia, Algansey, Kinderhook, Gilead, California areas.
A lot of Indiana towns there. Townships.
That's actually Michigan townships.
Oh, really?
Yeah, those are all Michigan.
Gotcha.
On the Indiana side, we have Orland, Jamestown, Panama, Flint. Not Flint, Michigan, but Flint Township, Indiana, Indian Hills. It could be a hill core on that one, too. So we'll have more information. We'll pass that on to you as we get it from our chasers, but we'll keep a close eye on that situation in the border area.
Check out stream right now. I have Ben's cam up.
Yeah, I excuse me. Oh, my throat. I got it pulled up here. Also got the Sturgis cam. It's showing the exact same green tintish look to that. So Ben's got a brilliant view, though. Again,
the cell we're showing you right now, they're in a Culver's parking lot. Oh, and we lost his feed. Okay. We got the dancing cat. He is in the, I believe he's down there in Sturgis right now. Unless he's relocated. Yeah, his dot was last updated in downtown Sturgis. So, again, everyone's kind of on that storm right now, producing a very, very nice shelf cloud. That's what you guys saw there on the camera. And so we're going to continue to watch that storm. Again, it has had a history of perhaps brief spin-up tornadoes as well. And yet, there is still no warning on this. So we'll continue to keep an eye on it as it now moves into St. Joseph County proper, Sturgis itself. And then up next will be Coldwater, all of Branch County, Bronson, perhaps even as far north as Colon, Sherwood, maybe even Union City. Otherwise, they'll continue off more to the east towards Quincy and eventually Hillsdale County.
Yeah, I got the Sturgis cam pulled up here. You can see the outward rushing of this storm with the shelf cloud. It's probably going to pack some wind here, I have to imagine, as it moves in toward the Sturgis area.
That Sturgis cam is courtesy of Fawn River HVAC. Shout out to them there, just by the airport.
Go ahead and take that off. It's about to crash, I believe.
Your cam?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Atmosphere's perhaps starting to break a little bit more through that cap. A lot more rain starting to filter in now, and a lot more prefrontals. We're going to watch this cell in particular, south of Orland, Indiana. This just came out of pretty much nowhere. It's popped up and is going crazy with lightning right now. Perhaps a little bit of weak hail mixing in. Our VIL does pick up on perhaps a nice kind of area of hail starting to be produced and lofted above the ground. And, of course, you look at our winds, and those are also starting to uptick as well. And it also, Ryan, has a classic hook shape on it. as well, and that is moving straight north. So I have reason to believe that that cell is surface-based. So we do have to keep an eye on that. Again, a lot of winds spinning from the bottom to the top 3 kilometers in the atmosphere today. And again, with that low-level spin, we do have to watch out for brief spin-up tornadoes. Okay, we'll go back and check on the east side here real quick. There is a special marine warning now in effect for the St. Clair River for gusty winds of up to 40 knots. The cell right now in question is over Mount Clemens and over New Haven, entering St. Clair County. We'll keep an eye on that, but at the current time it is kind of on a weakening trend. However, because it's so close to the lake as well, we've seen this in the past, Ryan, where boundaries can form off the lake, and you get that just a little bit of a spin there. Even in the weakest of cells, it can do something funky. So we'll keep an eye on it. There's no warning. There's no statement in effect. But again, the proximity to the lake there, you never know what funkiness it can do. So going back, this goes now to, actually that is what they issued that special weather statement for, Ryan, is that cell that's out in front. And it continues to produce that classic supercellular hook to it as it now enters Michigan within the next 5 minutes. Looking at Branch County, we have one camera in Branch County, but it's facing the opposite direction in Allen. So we'll have views from our chasers then as they come in, which are all up there on the top of the screen. You got Ben, whose cam is down at the current time. Don't mind the dancing cat. That's just his his feed being offline for the moment. We also have Clayton and we have Drew all down there on this cell in southern Michigan, or set of cells at this point. Is there anything I need to take a look at behind the scenes here, Ryan, or are we good for now?
No, I don't have any information at this point.
Okay. Any posts that are worthy of going on Facebook?
I have not seen anything just yet.
Okay. Yeah, and Allen is in the... actually, no, you're right. That is in Hillsdale County. My bad. So that's just across the line into Hillsdale County, and that camera, again, is facing north. So we have this whole area of Branch County where we don't have a camera at right now. So, again, that's why we have chasers out there. We have views on these storms, and I do hope that we can get some spotter dot updates soon. Drew's is on. Ben's is not, though. Drew is in Bronson. He is paralleling this new storm that has a statement on it. I'm going to go ahead and take Ben's cam off for now. It's a little distracting. Yeah, as a reminder, not all of our weather cameras are live 24/7. It's up to the host to decide whether or not they want to do that. Our Sturgis cam is not live 24/7, but we can access it behind the scenes. And again, courtesy of Fawn River HVAC there. Looking at it behind the scenes right now, the wind has ramped up, and there's a nice torrential downpour ongoing. Going back to our comments real quick, again, while we have this lull in the action, again, no warnings in effect, but we will stay live. Again, our policy is we go live and cover you from beginning to end. Usually that's when this last severe thunderstorm warning goes away. However, because we see the threat for more continued severe weather, we will continue to stay live until the entire threat for severe weather that we believe is done for the night. So switching back to the comments real quick, just looking at our YouTube chat. Thank you to Eric for becoming an EF1 member. Appreciate you very much. And Hoodies Girl for gifting 50 memberships to our YouTube subscribers. So shout out to Hoodies Girl. And if you are a subscriber of our YouTube channel, check your account. You may have just been gifted a 30-day membership courtesy of her. So thank you very much.
I have some of that
And this lot of moisture out there today, and you can really tell just given how much reds and pinks are mixing in with these storms. And again, this is what's going to continue overnight tonight here in Michigan. By the time we get to 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, daybreak, almost the entire state, I kid you not, will be engulfed in some sort of light to moderate rain. Looking at the models, Ryan, you could probably agree with me there. Look at the models the last couple of days. It's just been all Sunday, rain everywhere. And that is why there is perhaps upwards of 2 to 3 inches possible for a little line of Michigan from southwest to northeast across the state here in the lower peninsula. So keep that in mind. Your washout day this weekend is officially tomorrow. Go ahead and go look at our storms to the north that are kind of encompassed in this line. And new statement coming in for St. Joseph and Branch. Go get to that in a second. There's a very weak couplet mixing in up here near Woodland. Kind of almost looks like a downburst. However, it does have that little bit of a hook to it. So again, even far and away from this open warm sector, you still have these embedded cells that are having just a little bit of rotation in there tonight. And we do have to keep an eye on every single cell that is crossing the state. But at the current time, not a concern. That rotation is very much weak and broader in nature. A lot of lightning ongoing though, so if you're in Berry County right now, heading over into Eaton County, be on alert for a lot of clouded ground lightning. You do not want to be taking shelter underneath any trees either. It's quite the wind signature from the Grand Rapids radar down there in St. Joseph County. But again, that's from the Grand Rapids radar, which is pulsing into the storm at about 6,000 feet off the ground. If we go back down to the surface here, not as high, but there are a couple pixels here that I'm now seeing in the 50s range. So keep an eye on this. There's your new box for the special weather statement. It says at 6:33, Doppler radar is tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from Centerville to Sturgis. Movement is northeast at 45. Hazards are wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. And it's radar indicated. Locations impacted by this new special weather statement include Sturgis, Coldwater, Bronson, Quincy, Union City, Centerville, Colon, Nottawa, Girard, Fawn River, Batavia, Leonidas, Burr Oak, Gilead, Sherwood, Fairfax, South Butler, Wasappi, Findlay, and Madison Lake. This does include Interstate 69 in Michigan between mile markers 6 and 21. So that's this brand new bigger box that kind of encompasses the two cells coming together here. Taking a look at the winds, though, if we had to pick out a point where there could be severe winds ongoing, it would be in the Burr Oak area, which is basically following Drew right now. Again, Drew's on that front storm. His camera was live in the top right. We're waiting for his connection to come back in there. So he's on this storm that is moving into rural Branch County, crossing into the I-69 region south of Coldwater. But if anything is severe right now, I would tend to believe that it's with this outflow boundary that's kind of buried in the line from Colon down to Burr Oak. In fact, you can see a couple of these brighter pixels here. We're back on the velocity radar for those who are curious as to what radars we're using. Velocity radar. So a lot of reds and greens. We look for brighter reds and greens for these gusty winds of 60. And that pixel right there south of Colon right now is exceeding 55 miles per hour, which does bring it above what the special weather statement is in effect for.
Joel, check out the presentation of that storm from the Grand Rapids radar.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like 6,000 feet off the ground. I'm seeing winds of like 60 to 70 just tucked away in there. A little bit of upper level rotation as well. But the most impressive thing there is this pocket of winds highlighted in blue. I'm guessing that's what you're telling me to look at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just south of Colon. Yeah, 61 miles per hour. But again, that's 6,000 feet off the ground. We take it to the closer radar out of northern Indiana, and it's getting there. I would have to imagine it's pretty close. There's a couple pixels mixing in there, as I mentioned, of 55. And So keep an eye on it. So Colon up towards Sherwood, this entire M86 region from Colon over to Coldwater. Want to be on alert for that westernmost cell at the current time. A lot going on out there tonight. A lot of much needed rainfall at the very least. If you don't get a severe storm tonight, we will take this rain. Hopefully a drought buster. And again, prepare yourself for a rainy Sunday tomorrow. Quick reset is now 6:38 p.m. Live time is down there in the bottom right of your screen. If it is off by more than 30 seconds, feel free to refresh, come back in, hit that like button, and it should be live for you. Again, I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma alongside Ryan. Again, we are Michigan Storm Chasers, and we'll be live until this threat does expire for the night, which we hope is sooner rather than later. The atmosphere is starting to overwork itself a little bit, but again, the favorable shear is still in place across much of southern Michigan. I'm taking a look at Meso behind the scenes here. Effective shear right now, where's it at? Where'd it go? Bulk shear, bulk effective shear over 40 knots. So it's a lot of wind mixing around in the upper levels of the atmosphere this evening. Our capping inversion is starting to come into place a little more as well, but there's a nice bullseye supercell composite, which is kind of a combination of a bunch of different ingredients to get supercell formation of 4 across the southern Michigan region. This primarily exists right now where this line of cells has those special weather statements. So it's going to be Branch County up towards Calhoun, Jackson, and Hillsdale County in the hour to 2 hours to come. So we'll have to keep an eye on this corridor. It's going to be the main tipping point for any severe weather this evening as these storms continue off to the northeast at around a speed of 45 miles per hour. Waiting for another update here. I realize their radar updates, Ryan, are 4 minutes apart, maybe in 5.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at that, but also kind of surprised there's not a warning on the Branch County cell. Presentation on both IWX and GRR radars are definitely picking up intensity with the velocity, but also our chasers reporting gusty winds as much as 60 miles per hour close to Sturgis a few minutes ago. So I'm sort of shocked they're not warning it. But regardless, gusty winds are continuing toward the Bronson, Madison, and Colon areas, as well as Leonidas. That reminds me, I'm going to go ahead and get the Allen cam pulled up and ready. That's going to be on deck.
Yep. If you have damage reports coming in from where you're at, we do appreciate them, so we can relay those to the National Weather Service as soon as possible. And you can send us a message or send them in on Facebook to our group chat. So first and foremost, follow us on Facebook, Michigan Storm Chasers. But we do also have a community page called Michigan Weather Reports, and you can send them right in. You can search for the group and submit your posts that way with as much detail as possible. So location, time, and a measurement if needed, if it's hail or maybe a diameter of a tree limb. Anything helps. Relay the information along. And of course, when you're submitting these damage reports, let us know if you want us to share on our page. And of course, let us know if they're your photos as well. Do not relay other people's photos unless you are going to give proper credit.
I don't have anything in the reports group from tonight or from today, so nothing to report with anything damage-wise or picture-wise.
Just realize I'm going to go ahead and post this severe weather coverage over in our post alerts so everyone can get the notification on Facebook that might not be on. So again, this live stream is currently live on 4 different platforms. So if you know anyone that doesn't have a certain social media platform, you can maybe use one of the other ones. So Facebook, we're live there primarily. YouTube as well. Feel free to subscribe, hit that red button. It's free to do. We're also live over on Twitch and X. So if you know anyone that's a Twitch user or an X user, feel free to follow us there. Our username is @MIStormchasers, if that is an option that is only available for maybe your friends or family. Again, the share button is free to do. Hit it. Even if you don't know anyone in the path of these storms tonight, you might be helping out a Michigander who gets pulled into the algorithm for storms in their area. So liking and sharing goes a long way. Back to the radar, though. A couple more cells continue to fire up across Hillsdale, northern Lenawee into southern Washtenaw counties. Primarily Jonesville, nice thunderstorm ongoing there with a lot of lightning, as well as over by Manchester. Downtown Ann Arbor as well, nice heavy shower there. And we have just a lot of lightning inside these storms that are going across Calhoun, Berry, and into Eaton County now, where there is weaker instability available, but there's still a decent amount of shear. So as a reminder for those who are maybe just tuning in, the severe threat today is primarily going to be to the east of 131 and south of 96-69 from Grand Rapids, Lansing, Flint to Lapeer and points south. Strong storms could trickle to the north of I-69-96, but at the current time, most of the severe weather will stay to the south. Just saying, don't be surprised if a warning pops up to the north of Lansing, but at the current time, as you can see, there's a lot of tan boxes that are all just bunched together down here in Branch County. All special weather statements for strong storms, the level below severe. We don't see any orange boxes at the current time, which is a good sign. If we saw an orange box, that means this storm would be severe. And of course, on the bottom of your screen, our active alerts panel would also light up orange. So if you're ever in a pinch and not sure what counties are all in severe warnings, feel free to watch the bottom scroller on the bottom of the screen. We Ryan, have had events where there's been like 20 alerts on our screen at one time, and so it's hard, sometimes to cover all of the counties in Michigan.
Yep.
Just keeping you guys aware. If there's ever a point where it gets super busy tonight, it's not likely to happen, but if that were, we're switching from storm to storm, you can always look to the bottom of the screen where all the active alerts are scrolling across. It's kind of like if you're back in the day watching your school closing come across on the bottom of the screen. It's like looking out for your county as well. I referenced it back to the snow days growing up, watching the bottom of the screen to see if your school's on there. Same thing applies tonight. Look for your county, see if it's in a special weather statement, severe thunderstorm warning, or perhaps even a tornado warning.
Lane 3 damage in the area, and then there's building damage over there, and that's about it.
Sounds like they're still talking about their
Reported,
weak
Yeah, they are.
damage.
on M66 there in Sturgis. I guess half of Sturgis out of power.
Apparently, Sturgis might be out of power with power lines down the area. Clayton's reporting minor to moderate tree damage and minor roofing damage to what appears to be some farm buildings. So it looks like there was perhaps some damage with that potential touchdown there. I don't know if confirmation from us on that, but it sounds like there's something for sure. Go ahead, Joel.
Yeah, and I would like to bring to the attention here, AWAS station actually just reported about 20 minutes ago, confirmed 61 mile per hour wind gust in Sturgis on this non-severe thunderstorm warned storm. So this is producing confirmed severe winds at times, despite the fact it is not in a severe thunderstorm warning. Ryan, I would almost put something on the page about that, like a text post.
Yeah, I got you.
So again, Sturgis, 61 mile per hour confirmed gust from the AWAS station there at KIRS. It was 1 mile outside of town to the west. Looking at our velocity, it does continue to appear that we do have some 50s and 60s mixing in as this heads up towards Sherwood and Bronson, and eventually over towards Coldwater if it continues to move a little bit further to the east. So if you are in Branch County, please treat this as if this was a severe thunderstorm warning producing 60 mile per hour winds. We have a confirmed 61 mile per hour gust from Sturgis 20 minutes ago in St. Joseph County. So again, Branch County. If you're in Calhoun and Hillsdale, you do want to be on alert for the storm that is heading your way. It's not there yet, but you can see what's coming and what has been reported so far. We've had confirmed damage from our spotters on the ground, and of course the AWAS station's producing 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts as well. The other AWAS station was a 50 mile per hour wind gust north of Shipshewana, or 2 miles south of the Michigan-Indiana state line, which is about also 4 miles to the southeast of White Pigeon. So that area I'm circling there. You can see the report on the screen in green.
Alright, guys, I am gonna be heading out. You guys have a good rest of the night. Good luck. See what you guys can get over time.
At the current time, that is the only threat, is this cell down here in Branch County. We're going to go back to the Detroit radar and check in on our cells to the east side of the state. At the current time, it looks like it's just primarily a thunder and lightning threat with a little bit of a flooding threat mixed in, if these storms are going slow enough, which at the current time doesn't appear to be. However, these storms will start to train over the same areas, and we could start to see some minor flooding come into play as we go throughout the evening. Perhaps the biggest storm that hasn't gotten a statement or a warning yet is going to be this one that's north of Flint, over Flushing right now. But, again, no winds mixing in with that, just packing a punch for lightning and torrential downpours. It did actually have on radar earlier winds of 35 to 40 at about 1,800 feet off the ground, so it could have definitely used a statement. But at the current time, it looks like it's just primarily a torrential downpour and a lightning threat.
Joel, did you say that wind gust was 61 in Sturgis?
Yeah, it was 61 in Sturgis. Source was an AWAS station. Technically 1 mile northwest of town, if you're going to be exact. Looks like it's trying to get a little bit gustier here in our cell south of Woodland and Sunfield. This is entering the extreme northwest corner of Eaton County. Again, a lot of lightning also being seen on radar here. Good news is no rotation. We hope to keep it that way. But as we continue to see, Ryan, this cell in Branch County has a very impressive upper level signature to it, but it is having a tough time mixing to the ground. So that is some good news there. If it mixes to the ground, that would produce widespread 60-mile-per-hour wind across the county. At the current time, it looks like it's just kind of been isolated here and there, as we've seen so far in southern St. Joseph County. But still, treat this as if there is a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds, because you never can be too safe, I would say, at this point of the night, especially with the shear vectors the way they are.
You know what time that wind gust was reported?
About half hour ago now. 22:27 UTC. Been just shy of 6:30. Go ahead and bring up Drew's cam. He is heading north. He's kind of inside of this whole mess of rain right now. Same thing with Clayton. Of course, he is, I believe he's still surveying, or he's leaving the survey. He is way back in Indiana at the current time. Looks like there's some leaves. Maybe a tree down there. Can't really tell. It's a little dark. And Clayton is just southwest of Sturgis, where those 50 to 60 mile per wind gusts came through.
You got Drew pulled up on screen.
Yep, I see that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Do we know which way he's facing? I see he was driving northwest. Or northeast, excuse me.
I'm assuming he's looking to the northwest here. He's just north of the town of Bethel.
Yep. Oh, I see he turned onto an east-west road. He's looking west into Bronson. So cell back off to the west a little bit. The statement that was in effect back off to the west for Middlebury, Constantine, portions of southern St. Joseph County has expired, but there's still those 2 tan boxes. I'll go flip back to my camera here. Those 2 tan boxes you see on your screen are the statements that are still currently in effect. Main hazard remains 40-mile-per-hour winds.
We do have some power outages to talk about here in Oakland County. We got about 1,000 people out of power from previous storms. It appears there's not too many being reported throughout the entire state. It's been Macomb, Oakland County, also up in Ogama. I'm not sure what's going on up there because there've been no storms, but Ogama County has about 700 people out or so.
Got all your cameras pulled up there. It's really interesting to look at. Half of our camera network across the state is seeing a nice sunny evening out there, while the others deal with plenty of thunder, lightning, rain, you name it.
This is one of our newer cameras from the Black Diamond Car Wash up in the UP in the Ishpeming Naganway, Nagani area. So this is gonna be
I was like,
based
what?
on the west- Yeah, I saw the name. I'm like, wait a second, I'm gonna butcher this, but I got it right. So thank you to the Black Diamond Car Wash for sponsoring this camera. A much needed UP view, but as you can see up there, it's a beautiful evening. Perhaps even some aurora tonight for the UP. So if you're clear up there, it may be worth a shot looking north.
Go ahead and switch back to my radar real quick. It's getting darker and darker out there, so unfortunately our chasers cams are going to become darker and darker as well. You're not going to see as much. The good news is we do still have our network of weather cameras out there, just kind of scattered across southern Michigan. But as the storm heads into Allen, we may have a good view as these storms pass to the north of the camera. But the current time they're kind of heading straight at the camera, so we'll see what we can get with a view there in the next half hour.
Let's go ahead and take back the camera here, Joel. I have a view up in the Flushing area, courtesy of Bigfoot Pro Services. Again, one of our new cameras. They installed it for us, but it is pouring, absolutely pouring down rain here in the Flushing area. This is facing west, so Flushing, for reference, is just west of the town of Flint. So thank you to Bigfoot for sponsoring this camera location. Whose audio's coming through?
I don't hear anything. I'm not hearing anything right now.
What am I hearing?
What are you hearing?
We love our chasers. Wasn't on the radio.
Interesting.
And all of a sudden, the view here in Flushing, it's just let up. It's done.
Wow.
Just like that. Let's go ahead and take off from the Bigfoot camera. We'll go ahead and go up to the Allen camera at the Marble Springs campground here. I can't get this one right. There we go. This is looking to the northwest. So Allen, for reference, is between Jonesville, Hillsdale area over toward the Coldwater area. So it's going to be right on the county line of Hillsdale and Branch, looking to the northwest here as these
A little bit of
storms
lightning.
approach.
Didn't know if you just saw that just now. A little bit of lightning on the left side of the screen. Unless it's a bug. Could be a bug.
No, it was lightning.
We have had our fair share of run-ins with bugs, so
Yes.
a couple times this summer I've seen the Manistee cam, big old spider on it. Some of our other ones as well. A couple hornets. They like to nest around them. Latest scan, Ryan, big gust of wind just showed up on radar here directly over Benke Road near Bader Road, southwest of Coldwater. It's about 2 miles outside of the downtown of Coldwater. So if you're in downtown Coldwater, I'd be on alert for perhaps this being your pocket of 60-mile-per-hour winds. Drew is right next to it. His camera was down. It is still down. We'll keep it in the top right corner in case he comes back in. There we go. But Drew is kind of paralleling that storm, and it is heading directly into Coldwater at the current time. So, again, Coldwater, be on alert. Perhaps some 60-mile-per-hour winds. These pixels here are 53 at the current time, and they could be easily gusting to 60 down at the surface. As, again, this is 3,300 feet off the ground.
Drew, do you got a copy?
This continues to look very impressive from the Grand Rapids radar, again, in the upper levels. Going up to Portland, Bullikin area, that cell continues to be producing some gusty winds as well. I'm seeing around 35 miles per hour right in downtown Bullikin. So not severe, but still gusty. If you have some loose ornaments for Halloween outside, if you're in Grand Ledge or into the Lansing area, you do want to be on alert for some gusty winds. Not severe, but if your big old skeleton ends up in your neighbor's yard, this is why. So take care of that now before the lightning and the winds arrive. You looked like you wanted to say something, Ryan.
I said Clayton is also now back live with us.
Okay. Sweet. Go ahead and
Joel, before you do anything, check out the Coldwater cell from Grand Rapids radar.
That's what I was
Tell me
doing.
what you think about that.
Yeah, it has a little bit of upper level rotation to it. So it's basically an embedded supercell at the current time, and it keeps producing downbursts, but it's not getting rotation, which is good and bad because at the same time, downbursts can produce sudden gust of winds at up to 60 miles per hour and perhaps even more tree damage than what a tornado would do. But the good news is there's no tornadoes ongoing, so you kind of take it and leave it. It's kind of a lose-lose situation. If you're in Branch County right now, Central Branch County near Coldwater and Quincy, you do want to be taking this kind of seriously and away from any exterior walls as necessary. Again, there's some gusty winds moving in right now across the US 12 region. While we have a quick moment, back to the chat here. Shout out to Mrs. C for gifting 1 membership to one of our YouTube subscribers, and Mike S for a $4.99 super chat. Thank you guys very much. So our chaser's up there in the top right of the screen. Clayton is still back off by Sturgis. He is just finishing up, looks like surveying down there, maybe heading back into Sturgis to kind of see more damage. Again, 60 mile per hour winds.
We might have a wall cloud cell on by Kinderhook right now. I'm trying to get a good view. Seeing it's pretty elevated right now. It's nothing too concerning, but I'll let you know.
Down the line of Kinderhook. That would be the cell I'm currently looking at that he is on. Is that correct, Ryan? You're muted.
South of the area of interest that we were talking about a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Lightning is starting to pick up on the Allen camera as well.
Yep.
So currently no warnings in effect. We have a statement in effect, though, for Branch County, as well as the eastern half of St. Joseph County. I'll get that, Joel.
Okay, thank you. Spoke too soon. Another downpour in Colon. Yeah, it's just going to be like that for a while. There it is. Bottom left corner, you can kind of see there's the center of your screen where Colon's at. Again, radar's in the bottom left right now. And again, here comes our low pressure system. So just because you might be getting a lull right now after you've been pounded by these thunderstorms for the last couple of hours, doesn't mean you're done completely tonight. All that rain coming up from Indiana will be moving into Michigan tonight and remaining in the state for much of tomorrow, as we see perhaps some places get up to 2 to 3 inches of rain by the time it's all said and done Monday morning. Just saw that chat over here on YouTube. Killjoy Army back for month number 11 as an EF0 member saying Halloween decoration-o-meter. I was thinking about that just to, you know, 'tis the season here. It'd have been a funny one to use this weekend, but we just stayed with the classic window meter. Perhaps, again, if we get more gusty winds, which is very likely between now and the end of the month, we will use that as our kind of sub-in name. So thank you very much for that idea, I guess you could say, and becoming a member for month number 11. As a reminder, I'll switch back to my cam primary here. If you are over to the east side of the state, the severe threat for now is kind of dwindled for the moment. We had that severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect for Oakland and Macomb. That storm now is traveled over into Ontario, and we've had some normal showers and thunderstorms pop up all around that area. So at the current time, nothing to worry about in southeast Michigan. We're just going to continue to watch primarily the cell that's riding the state line a little bit, but now moving more inland into Michigan towards the I-94 corridor, which will be next up for Calhoun and Jackson County as time goes on. Dee with a $2 super chat here saying, a question from Discord, the Burton cam looks stuck. It is possible. We could have some data issues ongoing there. So thank you for that, bringing it to our attention. We'll try and get that fixed as soon as we can. But again, right now, primary focus is this severe weather live stream. The atmosphere continues to be very moist and have a lot of shear in it tonight. So the primary hazards tonight, if anything, will be gusty winds of 60 miles per hour. We had that 61 mile per hour confirmed report from Sturgis. And with how much spin is in the atmosphere, perhaps a tornado or two, weak in nature. But now that our sunset is 7 o'clock, even sooner than that here in the state of Michigan, our instability now for severe weather days is very limited compared to, you know, having that 9 o'clock, even that 9:30 sunset during the summer, where instability is allowed to stay out a lot longer and maintain itself. So that's the good news about fall storms, is it's hard to maintain a severe event for, you know, 12 hours at a time. So it's likely we'll see pretty much an all clear probably within the next 2 hours. Original thought was 9 o'clock. I would say by 10 o'clock for sure this will turn into mainly just a normal thunderstorm and rain event. Again, if you are in the Lower Peninsula here tonight, you do want to keep in mind that some flooding is possible. There is a marginal risk for flash flooding, which is a 5% chance overnight. And flash flooding can occur when you have 2 to 3 inches of rain in about a 60 to 90 minute time frame. So be advised, that is a possibility overnight. If you are prone to flooding in low-lying areas, do take this note, I guess, seriously, if that is something that is for you. There are currently no severe thunderstorm watches in effect. If you're talking about Sterling Heights, they were under a severe thunderstorm warning. That has since expired. That expired at 6:30, actually. Let's go back to the velocity, see if there's been any more additional pockets of 60 mile per hour winds. I'm actually going to go back up to the Grand Rapids radar, because this is now getting closer to the Grand Rapids radar as it enters Calhoun County.
We have a Battle Creek camera.
Yes, we do. what you
It's
see.
actually about right on top of it.
Oh, that's a tower cam.
Yeah, I'm trying to. This thing is loading extremely slow.
Yeah.
Give it a second. I'll pull it up
Yep.
if I can.
No worries.
I got it. Not much to share, though. Looking southwest, courtesy of Battle Buddy Mobility Transport, located in Battle Creek. Looking to the southwest. Looking at the storm as it moves up over the camera here in a couple minutes. But as you can see, not much to write home about with the current view here. We'll wait for a few more minutes to see if it can improve as this passes over.
Honestly, starting to kind of hone in on the cells moving into Clinton County. That's pretty close to our Westphalia camera now. Over Eagle. Man, I keep bringing up Eagle this year. They've been hit a couple times. Some stronger winds passing over there. Not sure how much of this is actually mixing to the ground, but on normal base velocity, I'm seeing 49 miles per hour at 2,500 feet off the ground. So if that is mixing to the ground, that is some strong winds, not severe winds. So be advised, the southwest corner of Clinton County, primarily Eagle and the outskirts of Westphalia, heading over towards DeWitt. Be advised, again, winds of perhaps 40 miles per hour are happening there. No warnings, no statements in effect at the current time. Back over to the east side of the state. Again, all the severe tonight is going to be primarily south of I-96 and I-69. Currently, central Michigan and points north into the upper peninsula. No precipitation really ongoing besides a couple light showers. It has been quite a clear day for portions of northern Michigan and the UP, so we will continue to focus on the southern portions of Michigan where the severe threat is common. Again, as what we do in these live streams, always going to focus on that primary area where severe may be happening or may be happening shortly. That is quite the impressive pocket from the DTX radar there, Ryan, over Eagle.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it, and the Westphalia cam is pulled up. However, it is frozen at the current time.
All right. There you go. It was working.
I figure out if it's a software issue or if it's a camera issue. I'm trying to figure that out right now.
Okay.
It's a camera issue.
So what you're looking at right now on your screen is the measurement of rain. So it's a base reflectivity radar. The most intense rain is going to be in the reds. So if you can see on your screen there, some reds in the Thumb, southern Tuscola, southern Sanilac counties, northern St. Clair. Also over towards Shiawassee County. Genesee County has a lot of heavy showers as well. Anywhere you see these little white symbols, those are lightning strikes. So some of these storms are producing a lot of electricity tonight. Back into Lansing, a lot of Clinton County and some heavy downpours, as well as just Lansing proper, all the way down into Calhoun and Branch counties. Also have a couple cells popping up in Jackson, Ann Arbor, and even in the Farmington Hills area, all the way over towards Mount Clemens. You can see again those yellows to reds, moderate to heavy downpours. And again, it's only a matter of time before that low pressure system seeps into the southern portion of the state and spreads rain all across the northern portions of the state. And if you are a winter lover, this would have been something you would love to see about 2 months from now, but unfortunately, it is not 2 months from now. This would be quite the snow event tonight into tomorrow. Yes, I said the S word, just being truthful. There's a lot of rain coming tonight. It would have been quite a decent snowstorm, but again, temperatures today in the 70s and 80s, so we are nowhere near getting one of those events.
Joel, I'll be right back.
Yep, all good.
The Westphalia cam is operational. It's pulled up if you want it.
Okay. that is looking west from Westphalia, courtesy of Soil and Water Management Systems. Going to Allen, actually. I know Ryan's away, but the Allen camera does have that cloud structure passing over right now. Holy lightning. I'm going to switch my camera to that. And we're going to watch a nice lightning show while there is a lull in the action. Oops. Of course I missed that lightning. So that is where the downpour is opening up. Again, this is Allen, Michigan, at the Southern Michigan Rubble Springs campground. So this is just entering Hillsdale County. And Drew is on the storm. His camera's up there in the top right. You can see that lightning flashing at the same time as our Allen cam. And the nice thing about these cameras is they do really good with picking up nighttime light. So, again, really good view. A lot of lightning out there tonight. Very electric storms with decent amount of mid-level cape. And these storms will continue overnight before transitioning to, as I mentioned, a rain threat. Go ahead and switch back to the radar as we expire our last statement for now. We'll see if there's more getting issued in the future. Again, we're going to go back up to the Lansing storm now. Surprised there's not a statement on this. I'm seeing some pixels of now over 50 miles per hour, primarily in the Cutler Road and Francis Road region of St. Clair County. Or, sorry, that's Clinton County, my bad. Clinton County, near DeWitt. So Eagle, DeWitt, in between you guys. Winds of 53 miles per hour being reported on radar here at about 3,100 feet off the ground. So it's a little bit far up. It's about half a mile up in the atmosphere. Probably not mixing to the ground all the way, but let us know what you're seeing if you're in Clinton County, not St. Clair, Clinton County. Current time north of Lansing. This whole pocket of rain is going to be passing over 127, eventually heading towards Owasso, Shiawassee County. So you'll be up next. And it's interesting because it's away from the most favorable environment. So it goes to show you that these storms can latch on even to the weakest of instability and produce some stronger winds. The winds right now north of Grand Ledge. Man, I wish I had the Allen cam up. The lightning just completely flashed the screen there, and it's actually really windy now. So some confirmed winds actually on camera for the storm that's in Allen. I'm going to have to switch back to the northern Indiana radar once again.
Hey, Joel, take the Allen cam real quick.
Yeah. There you go.
It is raining hard and gusting there. Just want to point that out real quick.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Literally here in chat. A lot of lightning. I missed a good lightning strike there for a second. I can say St. Clair County is chill right now. Yeah, absolutely. Again, Clinton County, not St. Clair County. But as you can see on the bottom of the screen, there is no more alerts in effect. We're in the all clear mode for now. And by technicality, we could end the stream, but we're not going to. Just because there are some gusty winds trying to mix in. Yeah, especially in DeWitt. Heading towards DeWitt. Those winds are now about 55 at 3,200 feet off the ground. Trying to figure out if that's elevated or not. There's a little bit of a capping inversion starting to come into play, as I keep mentioning here. So it may not be mixing all the way to the ground, but with how much D-cape, again, downdraft cape that we have out there tonight, it is very easy for these storms to go under the radar and mix to the surface. So if you are near DeWitt right now, points north, that 127 corridor, please be advised, we're seeing winds of, confirmed right here in front of your eyes, those bright reds turning into yellows. Those are pixels of 55 miles per hour winds. We do not want them to see. We do not want them to see. We do not want to see them get any yellower. Excuse me, as English is apparently hard for me tonight as they get towards the 127 corridor. But if they do, then this could be worthy of a severe warning. Power keeps flickering. Power flashes in Clio. That would be north of Flint. Let's go check in on that storm. Unless it's just lightning. I'm not really seeing anything in terms of wind. Okay. Might just be the lightning that you're seeing, because there's no winds there in northern Genesee County. As you can see on radar, there's your pocket of winds that are actually elevated, a little bit elevated, perhaps mixing down to the surface soon, moving through southern and central Clinton County at the current time. Power is flickering. Interesting. Genesee County power is flickering. Let's go take a look at the MEDAR stations. Rather calm, 5 to 10 mile per hour wind. Interesting. Well, you guys are there and we're not, so we'll take your word for it. Also flickering in Grand Blanc, so it sounds like it's a Genesee County issue right now. Sometimes you could have like a lightning strike that hits like a substation, power diversion, you name it. Especially since it sounds like it's county-wide, that could be a larger scale issue coming from another source elsewhere in the county. So very, very interesting. Thank you guys for those updates. Yeah, Schwartz Creek, Grand Blanc, Clio, I've seen a couple Flints seeing flickering. So it sounds like it's a county-wide thing right now. At the current time, I can tell you guys this with certainty that the wind radar, our velocity radar here, with respect to the Detroit radar, there is no bright reds or bright greens anywhere in the county. Compare it to what's happening over there in Clinton County. You guys are okay. The only issues right now are what appear to be some very light hail, maybe some pea-sized hail, and of course some cloud-to-ground lightning from Otisville to Otter Lake, a couple cells down here near Goodrich, and over into Schwartz Creek. It's been a while since we've had kind of a interesting thing happening with the power. But alas, if you are in Genesee County, even Shiawassee County, take a look to your west. You can see what's coming your way. No warning on this cell, but there are some gusty winds mixing in perhaps as the storm crosses through Clinton County, eventually heads your way. Again, we're looking for these yellows, these reds turning to yellows on radar. And those are indicative of 50 miles per hour or higher. The threshold for severe is 60 mile per hour winds. Current time though, these winds are not there. And especially if they're elevated, they're not likely mixing to the ground in the factor that we think they are. However, it does appear that that's the strongest storm currently on radar. We'll go ahead and switch back down to our storms that were previously statemented in southern Michigan. And at the current time, looks like it's just a lightning threat. However, there's a pocket of gusty winds mixing in north of Allen. That would be on our Allen cam. Let me see if I can pull it up. Go back to my decent lighting that I keep mentioning here. Very, very decent lighting out there. Very electric tonight. You do not want to be outside, even if there's a storm near you that is not producing winds. So As you can see there on your screen. Allen, Michigan, courtesy of Southern Michigan Marble Springs Campground. If you ever thought about camping in Allen, Michigan, that is the place to go. Back over to Fawn River HVAC cam in Sturgis. All is clear there now. But you got more rain moving in tonight. Just keep that in mind. Go back to the radar, if it lets me. Come on. There we go. Did a little bit of a flipperoo there. If you're just tuning in, there's no warnings in effect. We're just kind of watching some pockets of gusty wind that are a little bit elevated in nature. The main one right now, main two I should say, are going to be the US 12 corridor from Allen up towards Jonesville and even entering southern and southwestern Jackson County. And then, of course, this pocket of winds that is now in the DeWitt region, also elevated in nature. Let's know what you guys are seeing out there if you are in this pocket of wind or not. It might not be mixing to the ground. Time, location. If you have a damage report, feel free to send it in. Otherwise, we're just chilling for now. And we can pretty much talk about anything that you guys would like to talk about. We got over 2,200 of you guys watching between all of our platforms, so quite the crowd in here tonight. Appreciate you for watching. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, hit the follow button. Again, if you have both, follow us on both. And of course, we're also live right now on X and Twitch until we believe this threat is over.
I think I'm going to be done with the chase. I was hoping that Sal that was from that main line would have been something to look out for, but then it kind of completely fell apart. So I'm just east of Coldwater, so not really seeing anything else interesting.
Sounds like Drew is kind of wrapping it up for the night. So I might be relying on just our cams soon, our weather cameras.
I'm heading back.
As a reminder, we do have a second YouTube channel. So our primary one is here, Michigan Storm Chasers,
Both
at MR
areas
Storm
of
Chasers.
rotation that we've seen reach the ground did very minimal damage.
Our secondary account is Michigan Weather Network. That is a YouTube channel name for all of our 24/7 cams. Again, we have 65 weather cameras in the state. That continues to grow. However, we only have about 24 of those cameras live 24/7 due to privacy concerns, of course, of our sponsors. So if you would like to check those out, it's over there on Michigan Weather Network. And they are very, very helpful for for aurora events, I should say, as well. This pocket of wind just continues to intrigue me because it's away from the best ingredients in the atmosphere right now, and it's also in between two radar sites. So from the Detroit radar and from the Grand Rapids radar, it's about 3,500 feet or higher off the ground. So below 3,500 feet, again, that's our lowest beam height. Because of the curvature of the Earth, the beam continues to go up and up and up away from the radar site. And so you're up at 3,600 feet. Anything below that, can't really see what's happening on the ground. But again, at 3,600 feet right now, we're seeing some pixels mixing in of 55 miles per hour. Has been a while, for sure. So we had a severe weather stream. We had a couple in September, maybe one or two. It's now 7:28. We haven't really had any statements now in 13 minutes. The last one expired at 7:15 for Branch County. Last severe thunderstorm warning we're now approaching an hour ago. Ended at 6:30 for Macomb and Oakland County. So I lose my voice. Just looking at the general intensity of the rain out there. Factor-based reflectivity. Anywhere you see, again, those reds and those pinks on radar is your heavier rain, perhaps even some small hail mixing in. But generally speaking, over all of southern Michigan tonight, we will start to see this kind of pocket of kind of yellows, so moderate rain filling in across the state. And that'll be boosted by the low pressure system that's moving up from the Indianapolis, central Indiana region. All of this lighter greens and blues you see on radar, which is really far away from the radar so you can't really see it, is moving straight north and is going to just push all the rain all the way up into even the eastern UP tonight. And some places could easily see 2 inches of rain. Going back to our YouTube chat here, we'll have a moment as well. We got D. Guthrie becoming an EF0 member. Thank you very much for supporting us here. Welcome to the team officially. And if you would like to also become an honorary member of the team, feel free to hit that join button at the bottom if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, it's kind of different because on YouTube, subscribing is free. On Facebook, subscribing is an actual subscription you have to pay for. You can also subscribe on Facebook to support these severe weather streams as they happen. Right now, though, no severe weather to talk about, so we are just chilling. Waiting to see if anything else does pop up. Main pockets of wind that we're continuing to watch remain the Litchfield area and the 127 corridor between St. John's and DeWitt. And there you go. Over here on YouTube, one of our storm chasers, Evan Heemstra, gifting 10 memberships to those who are subscribed on YouTube. Again, it's free to do as long as you have a Google account. Head on over to YouTube here, Michigan Storm Chasers, and hit that subscribe button. So thank you very much, Evan, and also Lexi for becoming an EF0 member. You guys are awesome. No rain at the current time if you are north of Mount Pleasant. A couple light lake effect showers mixing in the backside of the low. Otherwise, pretty clear night. Tiny little shower in Paradise in the UP. That is basically it. And perhaps a little bit of light mist in Presque Isle County. But as you can see, all these storms are pretty much south of Mount Pleasant, south of Saginaw. They're trying to creep a little bit further north, up towards the Thumb and Bay City. But for the most part, they're heading due east. Now, I will say as time goes on, that low pressure system, as it moves up from the south, will push more of the rain north, maybe even this thunderstorm threat to the north. However, for the most part tonight, most of you will be receiving just a steady rain. A nice night to keep your windows open. It'll be kind of cooler out there as the low pressure moves in, but it will be relaxing to listen to. I expect by 9 o'clock we'll probably be able to give the all clear. Main concern for severe weather remains the southeast corner tonight. Howell and points south. So Washtenaw, Lenawee, Monroe, Wayne, and currently Jackson and Hillsdale counties. However, we're watching this kind of rogue storm try to produce some gusty winds. Still not sure if we have any confirmation on areas south of St. John's, north of DeWitt, north of Bath. If you guys are watching that area, let us know. Because we can see winds of over 50 miles per hour on radar, but they're at 35 to 40,000 feet off the ground. $5 super chat over here on YouTube from Michelle asking, will the wall of water hold its strength all the way to us on the east side like Oakland, Macomb, and Wayne counties? Thank you. No problem. I can tell you tonight that If it's not this wall of rain, we'll go back to our base reflectivity radar here, which is the intensity. Again, there's lots of reds in there, but the reds are kind of being outnumbered by the gradual greens and yellows, which is that moderate to lighter rain. If this kind of fizzles out, becomes greens and yellows, this doesn't mean it's over for the night. That low pressure system, as it moves up from the south, will continue to push more moisture in, and by tomorrow morning, kid you not, pretty much all of Lower Peninsula will be shrouded in some sort of rain wall. So keep that in mind. Tomorrow morning, it'll be a rainy one. So if you have plans Sunday morning, take that into account. Again, thank you for supporting Michelle. The $5 super chat. If you're submitting stars on Facebook, thank you very much. Unfortunately, we can't really see them on our end. We can only see the Facebook equivalent of super chats. So if you've been donating stars on Facebook, appreciate you just as much. Heaviest of the rain in the southern portion of this big old blob. We call it the Bob. Big old blob of rain right now. The heaviest of the rain showers are continuing to trek across southern Jackson County, pretty much south of Mason, all the way down to Addison. We'll be watching this cell primarily. There's a tiny little pocket of gusty winds. Again, this is going to be 6,000 feet off the ground from the Detroit radar, so it's hard to tell whether or not this is actually mixing all over the surface. So let us know what you're seeing as a new statement comes in. And it will be for what we figured was this kind of storm that's kind of all by itself north of 69. So you saw it pop up on the screen there. It's going to be Shiawassee and Saginaw. Tell Ryan to get that post there. So this statement, you can find the information as well, is going to be in effect for 40 mile per hour winds and no hail. So just going to be a wind threat. And this is primarily Shiawassee County with a little bit of, southern Saginaw County included. So Chesaning and points south. We'll have to switch back to the Grand Rapids radar to load it in. And while we are doing that, we'll actually take a look at the winds from the Grand Rapids radar. You can still see pockets of 50 to 55, maybe even 57 mixing in right near Langsburg. Passing right down County Highway 462. We'll go back to the Detroit radar. Mind the flip. There is your main pocket on the Detroit side of the county line there. There's Langsburg. So Parker Road, Garrison Road, and just passed over it, Bennington Road, near the north-south road of C Road, in and around downtown Langsburg. So Langsburg, Ovid, heading over towards Owasso in the next 15 minutes. So the special alert statement in effect. It goes until 8:30, so it's about 54 more minutes. And it does say it's tracking off to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. Hazards are winds of 40. Source radar indicated locations impacted by this new special weather statement include Owasso, Durand, Chesaning, Perry, Langsburg, New Lothrop, Corunna, Maurice, Bancroft, Lennon, Oakley, Henderson, Bennington, Vernon, Fenmore, Layton Corners, Juddville, and Carland. All of those locations I just listed are inside of this tan box you see on your screen. As a special weather statement, it is a level below a severe thunderstorm warning. Severe starts at 60 mile per hour wind, so we're still far away from a severe warning at the current time. So, anybody in Owasso, central Shiawassee County in general, I-69 and points north, please be advised for 40 mile per hour winds south of Chesaning and New Lothrop, and eventually over to Genesee County, so Flint, Schwartz Creek, and Flushing.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and post that statement since Ryan appears to be busy. So if you're on Facebook, you will see the statement come across in post form in just a second. Give me a second, everybody. Kind of working by myself right now. As a reminder, if you're in Langsburg, you should be taking shelter inside, away from any exterior walls, because again, 40-mile-per-hour winds can still bring down trees. Not as much as 60-mile-per-hour winds would do, but you still don't want to let your guard down. So as a reminder, 8:30 p.m. is the expiration time for all of Shiawassee County, including portions of southern Saginaw County, pretty much from points south of M57. Does include Chesaning. Otherwise, pretty much any area south of that. The current track, if it's heading northeast, is going to bring it into downtown Owasso. We'll continue to monitor both of these locations. Jackson County, if you are in Jackson Vandercook Lake area south of Spring Arbor, that pocket of wind continues to move in towards your area from the Detroit radar at 5,400 feet off the ground. That's winds over severe speed. So there's an elevated pocket of damaging winds right now in Jackson County that would be severe criteria. But it is, again, really far away from the Grand Rapids radar, really far away from the Detroit radar. It's hard to tell if it's actually mixing to the ground. So let us know what you're seeing. Damage reports are much appreciated. We can send those reports over to the National Weather Service in Grand Rapids specifically, and even the National Weather Service Detroit as these winds continue towards the east side of the state. Everybody, while we have this moment, take a nice deep breath. Just breathe in and breathe out. Again, we got you covered here. Nothing too concerning right now. As long as you are taking your necessary precautions when a severe storm heads your way or a strong storm heads your way, you're doing yourself a great service to your safety. Again, we just actually hit, so we haven't told anyone yet this on our page, but with how much has been happening today, it's kind of been pushed to the back. But we did just hit 500,000 of you guys, so 500,000 of you guys are now following us on Facebook, which is a huge achievement. From the bottom of all of our hearts here at Michigan Storm Chasers, thank you so much. Again, it's been 3 years in the making, and we are continuing to always just go up, up, and up from here. So thank you guys so much for following us on Facebook. Again, 5% of the state follows us, and so 5% of you guys here in the state of Michigan know what to do when it comes to your severe weather plan. So thank you guys so much for following us. And again, if you are in Shiawassee County right now, and you see this nice pocket of winds heading your way, it may be time to enact that plan.
Joel,
Yes.
are we keeping a close eye on the cell in southern Jackson County?
Yep, I just mentioned it. It looks
Okay, cool.
It looks poor from the Grand Rapids radar, but it looks decent from the Detroit radar.
Yep. I didn't know I was on the phone here, so I didn't know if you talked about that or not. I just want to point that out.
Yep. Might be stretch time too. If you're sitting down watching this, don't forget to get the blood flowing if you can. Been live for just over 2 hours now. If you've been watching this entire time, make sure to hit that like button as well. Shout out to everybody that's been watching on YouTube. Got 1,300 of you guys still watching right now. About 500 of you guys over on Facebook. Got 13 of you guys over on Twitch. Shout out to our Twitch viewers. And a couple hundred, I think, over there on X as well. Has dwindled since then. So wherever you're watching from, shout out to you guys for watching tonight and staying weather aware. And as always, word of mouth is the best way to get our channel out to more Michiganders. So feel free to hit that share button. Winds continue to get closer to Owasso, and that is exactly what I've been thinking here. I believe that these winds are not quite mixing to the ground like the way the radar is depicting them because as this storm moves into Shiawassee County, you can see those brighter cyans are starting to dip a little bit. They're still there, and they start indicating winds of 40 to 45, maybe even upwards of 50 miles per hour. but they're starting to go away as this wind gets closer to the radar site. So it's slightly elevated out there where these winds are just above the ground. But 40 mile per hour winds, you just still want to take seriously. And there we go. New statement coming in for Jackson. Ryan, if are you still? Can you still hear me? He is muted, so I will go ahead and take over then for posting for now. So that is going to be a new statement coming in for Jackson. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, there we go. So it shows up from the Indiana radar. There is your pocket of winds. It's heading right into downtown Jackson at the current time. Special weather statement now in effect for central Jackson County. I'm going to multitask here, so bear with me as I get the graphic posted on Facebook. Central Jackson County and also portions of Ingham County in effect until 8:30 p.m. Main cities impacted: Jackson, Vandercook Lake, and Michigan Center. Winds of 50, so this is going to be very close to severe limits, which are set at 60 miles per hour. So if you're on Facebook right now, this post will be coming in to you guys in just a second from myself truly. Feel free to hit that refresh button. Again, if you ever lose our stream tonight, again, it is pinned on our Facebook page at the top right now, so feel free to find it as necessary. But that is a very strong thunderstorm that heads to downtown Jackson. So Jackson, Vandercook Lake. Let's see what other locations we have here. Inside of this tan box you see on your screen, that is the special weather statement. As a reminder, that is the level below a severe thunderstorm warning just by a hair. This does include portions of the following cities, including Leslie, got Stockbridge, Grass Lake, Vandercook Lake, as I mentioned, Leoni, Spring Arbor, Sandstone, Bunker Hill, Pulaski, Weberville, Concord, Horton, Parma, Dansville, Hanover, Fitchburg, Jackson County Airport, Oak Point, and Pleasant Lake. So it's kind of an odd-shaped tan box that covers portions of 2 counties. If you are in Brooklyn, for example, you're not technically in this special weather statement. As you can see, that box does not include you, as well as Napoleon, Clark Lake, down towards Cement City. But if you are north of that line, you are squarely inside that box, or as it's called, the polygon. If you're in the polygon, respect the polygon. Make sure you're taking shelter until the strong storm does pass. Trying to kick it up a notch a little bit there. See if I can get a new storm motion vector on it. This radar from Grand Rapids is having a tough time picking up on the winds here, but for some reason, northern Indiana and Detroit are actually doing better. So if you know anybody in Jackson County, feel free to spread the word. Word of mouth is the best way. If you know somebody that does not tune in, make sure to spread the news as needed. Place marker, storm motion from marker, remove marker. Yeah, it's the winds are struggling from the Grand Rapids radar tonight. So we'll go back over to the Detroit radar. Gives us a better glimpse. It's about 5 to 7 miles outside of downtown Jackson at the current time. Maybe even closer. And Jackson County, I'll mention this again. Jackson County is also a place that does not have a weather camera in it, so you can't really take any live cams right now. So if you know a business in Jackson County that would like to sponsor a camera, feel free to send them our way. Anywhere in Jackson County works. So Parma, Jackson, Spring Arbor, Vandercook Lake, Grass Lake, you name it, we'll take it. Even into Ingham County as well, Dansville and Stockbridge also needed for camera locations. Our first camera that will be up is either going to be the Mirestone Ranch camera over here in Chelsea, which is just in Washtenaw County, or up in Howell, downtown Howell at the City Hall. But we currently don't have any chasers on it right now, so we're kind of limited to our radar data and no cameras on it. So we'll walk you through it. same case up there in Shiawassee County. No cameras in Shiawassee County. Both of these places exceeding 40 to 50 mile per hour winds. Another disclaimer here. I see you guys are recommending cameras in chat. Again, they have to be MSC installed cameras and not third-party cameras, because again, streaming limits or streaming permissions and stuff like that come into play. We don't have permission to just stream someone else's camera. So Michigan Storm Chasers cameras specifically don't have any in Jackson County, don't have any in Shiawassee County. Off topic real quick, Aurora, I see that's being talked about in chat here. Aurora last night came out around 1 a.m. We had multiple substorms all the way up through sunrise. Then it dwindled back off. And then, of course, during the daytime hours today, we had a very large solar storm happen on the other side of the planet. And since that time has occurred, I believe the data still looks very bad. So if you are in clear skies, which is going to be pretty much north of Grand Rapids and Mount Pleasant tonight, you guys are going to be on the lookout for Aurora. But at the current time, the data, actually, it's still pretty good out there. It's not as good as it was earlier, but it's still reasonable. And I would say if you are in the UP and northern Michigan, north of Gaylord, point your cameras north tonight, you might actually see a faint glow of Aurora on the horizon. The hemispheric power out there right now is pretty decent. The purple on radar, by the way, that is range full. That's just bad data. So ignore the purple you're seeing here on this velocity radar. Going back to our base reflectivity radar, which is the intensity of rain. Lots of red still falling in the cell in Jackson County. Also has a little bit of a tail to it across Jonesville, the US 12 corridor, from Hillsdale down to Reading as well. The heavy rain moves up in through Eaton Rapids, Mason, and Holt. A lot of thunder and lightning ongoing there. And of course, lots of heavier showers moving in across Genesee, Lapeer, Sanilac, Tuscola counties tonight, and a couple lighter showers over there at Macomb. And of course, the cell that we're talking about right now, number 2 cell, Shiawassee County, with some heavier rains there, moving into Saginaw County as well. If you're in Grand Rapids, you've been pretty much unscathed by the rain and the storms for now, until our rain moves in from the south later tonight. Current time is 7:51 p.m. For those who are new here, I am Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma, alongside Ryan, who is behind the scenes right now. He's the president of operations here at Michigan Storm Chasers. And we are continuing to track thunderstorms that are strong in nature right now across south central Michigan, primarily Jackson, Ingham, and Shiawassee counties. We had a stretch there where we had no alerts. And now we're starting to ramp things back up again, primarily heading into Owasso. We'll switch back to our wind map there. Owasso points south of Owasso down towards Cook Road. And of course, downtown Jackson and Vandercook Lake, some very hefty wind gusts, perhaps near severe limits, ongoing, entering downtown. So Jackson, Vandercook Lake, you do want to be away from those exterior walls where trees could be falling in, as these winds are now pretty much moving in within the next 2 to 4 minutes. Our severe threat will continue to dwindle as our instability falls apart. Again, our instability is storm fuel, and that is primarily fueled by daytime heating caused by the sun and warm air advection from the south. And we do not have as much at night, especially in the fall season when we have more darker hours than lighter hours, a lot more nighttime to deal with, and so the instability dwindles off a lot quicker. And it takes a lot more time to rebound during our fall and our spring seasons. So keep that in mind. Pretty much by 9 or 10 o'clock tonight is really when the severe threat will be over, and they'll transition to more of just a normal thunderstorm threat with a lot of moderate rain moving in. As a reminder, again, if you missed our precipitation map on our Facebook page, Facebook, Instagram, X, and I think it was also posted on Threads, precipitation amounts over 2 inches are possible, widespread across much of the lower peninsula tonight. If you don't get 2 inches, chances are you'll likely get between an inch or 2. So keep that in mind, somewhere in between that ballpark of 1 to 3 inches a night for pretty much everywhere in the lower peninsula. That threat has shifted further east as we've gone throughout the week. It started off being primarily northwest lower and eastern UP, and now has shifted over here into much of the central portions of the Lower Peninsula. So it will weaken with time, but right now the storm in Jackson is continuing to strengthen. Another radar I'm showing you guys here kind of looks like a whole mess of stars and stripes, and boy, it's very confusing. But what we're showing you is it's basically like the buoyancy radar. So it shows you where these storms are billowing up and collapsing down, or where they're neutrally buoyant, where these storms are kind of just staying suspended in the air. When we see these values that are yellows, oranges, and reds on radar, that is a positively buoyant storm. That's where these updrafts are continuing to bill up versus collapsing down. When you get down towards the blues and the grays, that is your neutral to negatively buoyant thunderstorms and rain showers, so they're just raining themselves out. So you can see this is still a blossoming thunderstorm across Jackson County. I'll circle it here with my mouse. That area right there that we're looking at in Jackson County, moving into 127, is all blossoming up. All the surroundings around it, neutral to negative. So if you're in downtown Jackson, let us know what you're seeing. Make sure safety is your number one priority right now. Again, the damage will be there, obviously, if there is any wind damage coming in after the storm has gone through. But again, reports are appreciated. Power outages, let us know what you're seeing there for power outages. And same rule applies if you're in the Owasso area in Corunna, eventually heading over towards Vernon, Lennon, and Durant. While we wait to see if there's any damage reports, power outage reports coming in from these areas, let us know where you're watching from tonight. Again, we got viewers from all over the state. Again, we cover all 83 counties in the state, even up there in the UP. Absolutely. So if you have friends and family up there in the UP, northern Michigan, you name it, all counties across the state of Michigan, feel free to share our page with them. So, seen here in chat, a lot of lightning and thunder by downtown Jackson. Thank you very much, Michael, over there on Facebook. Heavy rain, New Lothrop. Thank you very much for that report. Seems like we're starting to kind of wind down. I'm gonna knock on wood though, because anytime we say that, it seems like something just always gets triggered at the very last second. And so right now that would be Jackson, if anything. A lot of you guys watching from across southern Michigan. Thank you guys very much. A couple of you guys up there in northern Michigan. Very nice. If you have a confirmed report of a certain cloud, please send that to us. Don't just be saying things about certain clouds, because again, we need kind of some concrete evidence before we kind of shout that out here on stream. So, at the current time, we're running with this being a damaging wind threat, and again, with a lot of moisture out there tonight. I will say this: I said this at the beginning of the stream. There's a lot of scud clouds out there tonight, and what's happening there is they go by the nickname "scary looking clouds." So, if you followed us on Facebook this week, we had that as the word of the day. A scud cloud is basically a type of storm or type of cloud that it's precipitating out and it's picking moisture back up into the storm into its updraft as it precipitates. So it's kind of like an endless cycle here of this rain that's getting poured out and pulled back up into the storm. And they can often make funnel-like figures. So make sure, especially when it's nighttime, it is really hard to see right now. But to differentiate between a funnel cloud and a scud cloud, you have to try and see if it is rotating or if it's just lifting into the storm. If it's lifting into the storm, that's a scud cloud. If it's rotating underneath the storm, then that would be a funnel cloud. So understand, it is very, very hard to see at night. But nevertheless, make sure you're staying on top of things and not calling a scary-looking cloud a funnel cloud. I'm quoting Taylor Swift songs, apparently. I did not know that. I'm sorry. It was unintentional if I did. So these winds are now just over Jackson, Michigan Center, Vandercook Lake. Yeah, thank you very nice. Thank you very much for the very nice comments. You guys are awesome. We appreciate all the support you guys give us, whether that's verbal, monetarily, you name it. We love you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We continue to watch. Scroll through the comments here, seeing if there's anything I'm missing. If there's something that's like critical and you guys want to bring it to my attention, again, drop a super chat because it will pop up on our screen like right in front of our face. So that's an option, as always, over here on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed, of course, as well. But it looks like the dominant storm right now, again, with this storm in Shiawassee County being so far north, it's hard to get that instability, that storm fuel up there and allow it to become transitioned into downdraft Cape, where it becomes this downdraft and you have 60-mile-per-hour winds. But it's kind of overcoming that right now. 40-mile-per-hour winds are still possible. Corunna down in Durand. It is starting to weaken just a little bit, but be on alert as the storm heads towards Genesee County. So Flushing, Schwartz Creek, Lennon are up next for these gusty winds very, very soon. And all these statements do expire at 8:30 p.m. Back down here to Jackson. These winds are now over I-94 in the northeast side of town. I see you guys commenting in chat about the 500K we hit on Facebook. No dance for that. We do have a big giveaway coming soon, actually. A bigger than ever giveaway, I guess you could say. Usually when we hit milestones, we give away like one thing. We'll be giving away multiple things on our Facebook page this week. So make sure you're following us on Facebook for details. If you haven't already, again, thank you so much for helping us reach 500K on Facebook. Our next goal for you guys watching at home, our challenge is to get to 100,000 on YouTube. It's a long ways away, but we believe in you guys. So feel free to hit that red subscribe button over here on YouTube. It's free to do. The next dance, the inside joke there, next dance for us will be at 65K. So that is kind of a goal, just kind of a general goal, get a deadline for you guys there. Is every time we hit a 5K milestone, I will dance. So something we've been doing ever since our original days here at MSC. So yes, winds tonight will start to increase as that low pressure moves in from the south. It's moving directly in from Indiana, straight up from the south. That will cause those gales to just kind of actually get worse overnight. Those winds on the lakes could be in excess of 50 miles per hour, resulting in waves of over 10 feet. Inland, those wind gusts over 35 miles per hour. So as I mentioned on our Facebook page and our other social media pages, make sure that you have those Halloween decorations locked down before your Frankensteins become flying witches, I guess you could say. So lock them down. Make sure they don't end up in your neighbor's yard. Same goes for your trash cans, of course, and any other exterior decorations that you may have. Again, that purple is range folded. So that is basically just bad data. So what they do is they just cover it up with a purple pixel and call it good. It's kind of automated. One system does not determine El Nino or La Nina, just a heads up. We're transitioning still into La Nina phase, so we'll get there. We're just not there yet. But we had what was called a split low this weekend, I should say. Again, all this stuff I usually talk on Facebook, but I always love bringing it up in chat for those who don't follow us on Facebook and are not in loop with all our posts that we do. We had a split low, so we had the main low pressure go up into Ontario, up into the Hudson Bay, and it spit out a secondary low pressure system very far south. It's all connected by one big cold front, of course. We have the second low that's moving in from the south tonight that was split off from that northern low. So that is what's moving in, and that is what's going to result in bringing in colder winds from the northwest down. It won't be too cold tomorrow. It'll be in the 50s. 40s perhaps up there in the UP, but it'll still feel fall-like. And with this low pressure system that has split off from the low that went to the north, we'll also see those gusty winds of 35 to 45. Heavy rain, no snow. So soon, we'll get there, but not yet. Current time, it's just wind. So you guys are talking about hail in there. I'll go switch over to VIL. Vertically integrated liquid product. There is, anywhere you see blue specks would be where you have to start looking for some hail. If anything, Vandercook Lake down to Clark Lake. But if we switch it over to correlation coefficient, it's not a whole lot going on. And we're looking for those purples changing to oranges and yellows. And we're not seeing that. That little speck right there is clear air. It's where there's a lighter rain shower tucked in with a bunch of heavier rain showers. So that is nothing. Not really seeing too much in the way of hail. Maybe pea size at most. But as you can see, a lot of the state tonight is this purplish shade. And in fact, because we're getting into the colder season, everybody, as you get further up into the atmosphere, as you get here from the Detroit radar over to Charlotte, that is about 5,500 feet off the ground. You start to see these purples change to yellows and oranges. You know what that is? That is our melting line. So that is where we start to see some mixed precipitation. Again, that mixed precipitation is not circular in nature. You get this ice buildup. And so we're seeing some freezing rain and some freezing sleet falling actually at a mile above the surface. Now, of course, below that mile limit, that's when it gets above freezing. It turns into rain. But it's just a sign of the seasons changing. We got rain changing to like a freezing drizzle at about 5,500 feet off the ground. So pretty cool to kind of see that as we get into our fall season here. So that is correlation coefficient for you. I am getting hungry. I don't know if Ryan's here and he can hear me, but I just so desperately need some food. Not ready for the permacloud. Yeah, neither are we. But it's part of living in Michigan. If you're new to Michigan this year, you'll get to figure it out very, very quickly that we here in Michigan deal with 4 to 6 months of pretty much straight clouds. Now, obviously, it's not continuous. We do get some summer, or not summer. We do get some sunny days during the middle of the winter where it's like 5 degrees outside, but it's not pleasant. You might as well just have the clouds in because it will keep the warm air at the surface locked in. So permacloud season is on the way. It really kind of lasts from November, end of November, in through December, January, February, into March. So at least a solid 4 months. It can last longer here in the state of Michigan. And it just happens like that because we are surrounded by lakes, and that lake temperature difference produces clouds all the time. Those clouds just sit and spin over the entire state. And now I would go get food, but for those who are longtime members here at MSC, you know the drill. One of us gets food, a warning happens, and we have to track it. Those gusty winds are now pretty much through Jackson, now heading up towards Grass Lake and Stockbridge. Anywhere you see those cyans in this cell specifically, kind of right along I-94 there, that is your gusty winds. So if you're in Jackson County, let us know what you're seeing, primarily in the east side of the county now, whether or not these 50-mile-per-hour winds that are in the statement are verifying, or if it's, you think, maybe a little bit weaker than 50-mile-per-hour winds. Also, a tiny little notch near Mason, where some gusty winds could be mixing in outside of the statement, and that's heading up towards Williamston. Over here, back on YouTube, we have a $2 super chat coming in from Erica saying, are we going to get lots of snow this year? It is definitely possible with a La Nina pattern. Again, we saw La Nina last year, and we saw how much lake effect snow, everybody? 300 inches for portions of the UP. Now, I know pretty much everyone that's watching tonight is not likely watching from the UP. There might be a couple of you guys in here. West Michigan, obviously, as well, got a lot of lake effect snow this past year. But again, kind of a repeat of last year. Southeast Michigan, kind of in that battle zone between rain and snow. But again, a lot of those lows tracking across the Chicagoland region and into the state from the southwest corner. Could see decent snowfall for most of the state, slightly above average. As a reminder, northern Michigan, UP of Michigan, near record snowfalls this past year. So again, thank you, Erica, for that super chat. If you would like your question answered for sure, feel free to drop a $2 or more super chat right down below. Ryan's back.
Yes, I had a hour-long phone call with the vice president of MSC. So,
Oh, Chandler.
yes, Chandler.
Nice. So you didn't hear that I'm hungry and I need food.
I did not hear that. No,
Okay.
food has been denied. If we eat now, we'll spark another warning. So you can.
That's what I said. Only thing we're tracking right now, though, is some 50-mile-per-hour gusts in Jackson County.
Yeah, that line looks like it could be intense up in Ingham County as well. And then also looking at backbuilding storms back by Berrien County, but those cells back off to the west don't appear to be impressive at this current time.
Yeah, one tiny little pocket of wind there heading in towards Bridgman. That's about it, though. That atmosphere back there it's decent, but it's a little bit overworked. Janelle's calling you out, Ryan. You were eating on stream earlier.
We've had one warning today.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
I don't want to hear it.
Macomb County have any tornado warnings tonight? No, we did not. It was only one severe thunderstorm warning. As a reminder, for those who are subscribed on YouTube, you can always go back and watch the stream after it's done. Every stream ever here, pretty much at Michigan Storm Chasers, is archived. So feel free to subscribe and check the live tab after the stream is over for this archived footage.
I am going to post something on our page.
Okay. I did talk about Aurora for a little bit and how the data was good today, and then we get to nightfall and it's tapered off a little bit. It's still decent, but we had a G2 storm I think earlier today during our daylight hours.
It did reach G2 levels, and Aurora was seen at latitudes equivalent to Iowa, which would be similar to that of central southern Michigan. So we did miss out for this particular solar storm, at least for right now. We'll see. The UP is clear, so we're going to watch our cams. Unfortunately, by bad luck, our Cedarville, Norway, and Bayport cameras are all not running on YouTube right now. They're live. We can view them on our end, but the device that pushes that stream out to YouTube is down at all those locations. So we got to reset those and get those back up and running here starting on Monday.
My theory, Ryan, is that it's because everything is being shifted to Windows 11.
I don't know what's going on, but we're working through some, we're calling bug issues with our network right now. There's going to be some hiccups along the way. You're going to see some streams get frozen, or they may go down for a few days. That's normal. We're working on it. We have plans in place to implement to get these operational and smoothly operational. So bear with us. It's a process. Technology is not a simple, easy, streamlined solution.
Absolutely. Kendall with a $10 or $9.99 super chat saying, could we get a storm like last year? I would assume you're talking about either Aurora or snow. Feel free to clarify, though, in a follow-up comment. Let us know. And again, thank you for that $9.99 super chat. We can answer. Troll, for the love of science, experiments, eat. And just eat, Joel. What's the worst that could happen? Don't tempt fate. because if we're tempting fate, it's going to be for Livingston County and Washtenaw County. So if you know anybody there, that would be the next morning.
Well, Joe, I'm gonna go ahead and eat here. So,
Bruh. We're not jinxing it. For all intents and purposes, I don't see another follow-up comment from Kendall in here. I will say, if we're talking about Aurora, we are still in solar maximum, I think, through the start of 2026. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan. I know we're kind of on the back end of things. Sorry, you're chewing.
Man, I'm chewing. No, Solar Max kind of peaked last year, so we're in a steady decline. It'll be elevated for this year, probably next year, and perhaps into 2027 as well. But by the time we get close to 2020 or 2030 or so, at that point, we're going to be dead. Solar minimum is coming very soon.
Yeah. So for those who are just tuning in, again, everyone comes in and comes out at random times. We're watching two storms that have special weather statements on them in effect till 8:30. The storm that's in Shiawassee County is pretty much fizzled out now. It's pretty much just a rain shower. However, the storm that's down in Jackson County is now pretty much all the way up into the far northeastern corner of Jackson County and southeastern corner of Ingham County. Those winds were 50 miles per hour at the start of the statement, likely a little bit lower now. And we haven't seen any of your comments in chat here saying that it's really gusty by any means, just a lot of lightning and downpours. So sounds like for the most part these winds are not gusting to the ground in the capacity that we think they are and the National Weather Service thinks they are. So fingers crossed it stays that way. Again, we're continuing to get into the overnight hours, and that capping inversion is going to continue to work its way in and allow the storm to become more elevated in nature, not closer to the ground. So it takes a lot more energy to force a downdraft down at this time of the night, which is still possible in a storm of this strength. I mean, goodness gracious, look how much lightning is in this storm right now near Napoleon, Grass Lake, and Brooklyn. I had to zoom in to see like the rain on this radar here. So as a strong storm, I would not be surprised if this produces maybe a severe gust in the next couple of minutes as it heads towards Chelsea and Manchester. But besides that storm, there's really not a whole lot else left out there tonight for these storms to kind of sink their teeth into, if you would. Is it electric on the Chelsea cam, Ryan? It's a yes or no answer once you're done chewing, of course.
It's up.
Oh,
I'm watching it right now.
Nice. And there's your answer. There's some lightning. Shout out to Mirestone Ranch for sponsoring this camera view over there in Chelsea. They are also on Instagram. Mirestone Ranch Weather, I believe, is the page name. So feel free to go give them a follow on Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, though, while you're there, we're also live. We're also not live on Instagram, but we do have an Instagram page. MI Storm Chasers. Just type that in the search bar. Ryan L says frequent lightning and heavy rain near Napoleon, so it sounds like that is the main case right now. Also seeing GR2 putting a little symbol for perhaps dime-sized hail or larger. So with how much pinks are in there, I would not be surprised. We haven't really had to talk about hail too much tonight. And lo and behold, there is a core up to 22,000 feet right now in the storm that's passing into Grass Lake. So if you're in Grass Lake, let us know if you're seeing maybe some small hail besides the wind factor. Of course, right now you should be taking shelter. That is a lot of lightning. Look how much there is. You zoom in all the way here. What lake is that north of Napoleon? You probably have it on Google Maps or something.
Yandercook, probably.
Huh?
Yandercook Lake?
Mm-mm.
Wolf Lake.
Wolf Lake. Got it. If you're around Wolf Lake, let us know what you guys are seeing in terms of lightning, because that's so many strikes. Aye or nay? AYE or NAY to the lightning there. Oh, hey, Mirestone Ranch is watching. Hello, Mirestone Ranch. We're using your camera right now. They have a YouTube channel. Go follow them. Let's see. You guys are saying nonstop lightning Wolf Lake. Thank you very much. Sweet. And you can see that on our Mirestone Lake cam there in Chelsea. That is quite the show that's getting put on there. And Pea-Size Hill. Sounds good. If you have any images of that Pea-Size Hill, drop them in a message or over on our Facebook page, our group chat, our community page, I should say, over on Facebook. As a reminder, is Michigan Weather Reports. So type that in your search bar, and it'll pop up. And you can go ahead and submit it in there with as much detail as possible if you would. If you also have damage/hail reports that are yours and you would like to share them on the page, then by all means, let us know. Make sure it is your photo, and let us know if we have permission to do so. We'll definitely share it with our followers so that they may take action if they are downstream from this alert, and so the National Weather Service, of course, can see them as well and issue more statements for this storm. I'm saying this because we could use this right now specifically. If there's hail happening, they could issue a statement for Washtenaw County. There's a fuzzy in front of me. Go ahead and drop the radar in the bottom left corner right now to show you guys what storm we're looking at. Got Ben watching now from Facebook. Welcome in, Ben, one of our chasers tonight. Home safely from Milwaukee today in his storm chase out there.
See, Kendall is replying to your earlier question.
I see it now. Storm. Yep. Well, 199 super chat and a 999 super chat saying what I meant to say is they're going to be an ice storm like last year, with the La Nina pattern. Ryan, again, some warmer air in the in the warm side.
Go ahead.
You can actually take it if you would like.
I mean, yeah. So similar to that of last year, the pattern is going to support systems that are going to track very close to the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region. Now, it's going to come down to the exact track of each storm, so we really can't say for sure we're going to have, an ice storm. But I will say that similar to last year, I think the pattern would support occasional chances for ice storms. Just because of the way the storm track will be lined up, it's going to be tracking through the Ohio Valley. If you guys recall, we have split systems with snow on the north side, rain on the south. In the middle of those rain and snow patterns, you have that ice, the freezing rain, sleet in the mix of it. Joel?
Yep. It's already up.
Take my camera.
It's already up. I was looking at it.
We have Aurora out in the UP.
I was like doing this thing. I was like, I'm looking at your camera. Like, you're talking about ice storms. I'm like, hey, there's Aurora.
Yep. At least I can't change this over to the 3K. Oh, they blend the lights tonight. Nope, the green arc of Aurora is south. That will probably be seen. Perhaps when this goes to a substorm, if it stays around, it'll probably be seen down to north, maybe even central Michigan, if it's clear, but likely going to be cloudy tonight, which is unfortunate further south. But that's a really good indicator there. Very nice. What
lightning going nuts. Lightning going nuts. See that?
We do have a little bit of green there on the Sheboygan camera too, courtesy of Spray's Landscape. You see that over the trees there. Joel, take the radar bottom left quick.
Give me one sec.
Okay.
There you go.
No, take my screen back.
Oh,
there you go. There it is. The green arc there is just above the trees.
Yeah.
On the Spray's Landscape camera. Also want to shout out the Norway Mountain Ski Resort for the Aurora we were just looking at a few seconds ago. Also want to take note that on the Krups Resort cam up in Twin Lakes in the UP, you can see the edge of the green arc there. I believe this is the first Aurora we've seen on this particular camera, Joel. This one faces to the northeast.
Yeah.
So this one's a little bit more eastern facing, but yeah, it's good up there. So if you're in the UP watching, have a look outside. You may actually see some aurora there. To be exact, Norway Mountain Ski Resort is in Dickinson County, which is in the southern part of the UP. So if you have clear skies up in the northern tip of Lower Michigan, it's worth going out and checking.
Did you say you were going to put a post up on Facebook earlier, or no?
I was going to, yes, but I did not.
Okay.
I'm gonna probably do it tomorrow morning.
Oh, it's something under.
It's
Okay.
it's related but unrelated.
Got it. Okay, I'm going to post a radar update on the page, primarily for this storm in the Chelsea region because of its lightning. You'll hear the dinging because I am saving it. How's the light show going?
It is loading back up. I'm going to assume the camera here is lagging just a little bit with the internet. With the storm overhead, probably going to limit some coverage of their service here. So.
What time is it? 8:25. Yes, I'm using Windows 11. How did you know? Oh wait, it's the sounds. Yeah, so I just put a radar
It's
update.
hard.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was gonna say we had one warning all night. We've been live for about 3 hours now, and it's hard to want to hop out of here when we have storms that are looking pretty decent actually on radar here. So it's very hard for us to want to hop off, and it appears, Joel, we might be in the middle of a substorm.
I just
No, I guess
posted
not yet.
I just posted a radar update too.
That's fine. Looks like on the Krups cam in Twin Lakes there, it looks like it's trying to pillar a little bit, but off the Norway cam, it's a little less defined. So, I wonder what Bayport looks like. Cloudy.
Is that the WT Forestry Skycam there?
Yes, it is.
It's pretty cool to see it at night.
Yes, it is.
And that is the Seaway?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. The Countryside Transportation Service cam. Again, one of our new cameras. We have so many cameras in Michigan now. This is in the thumb of Michigan, in Sebring, facing to the southwest. I picked this because in the distance there was some lightning.
I saw it.
So I was going to see if it would do it again for us. But this camera, I'm excited for this one because in the summertime, in the early fall as well, we have usually 1 or 2 events per year that create some sneaky lake breeze storms up in the thumb region. Sebring is literally positioned perfectly to watch these storms. So I'm excited for this camera.
Mm-hmm.
I really am.
Do we have a camera in Marquette?
We are.
The answer to that is we have one nearby. We have one over in Negaunee. Which, every time I've looked at the Negaunee cam so far, from the Black Diamond Car Wash, that has always been cloudy. Surprisingly enough.
Find it here.
I see it. 5th row left side, yeah. It's pretty bright there, though. A lot of light pollution. Yes, that was lightning on the cam. No tornado warnings yet tonight. Right now, there's only two statements in effect. One for Jackson and Ingham, and the other for Shiawassee and Saginaw. At this point, both storms have moved out of the boxes. Right now, gusty winds moving in perhaps towards Howell, Pinckney, Charleston, and of course down here towards Chelsea and Dexter as well, where there is just nonstop lightning ongoing at the current time. We also are chasing, quotation marks, chasing Aurora. The northern lights are out on camera for much of northern Michigan and the UP. And if you're lucky enough, you might be able to see it with the naked eye up there in the UP. So there you go.
Classic substorm as well. The GOES 19 jumped from 40 to now it appears to be at 60. So it's a good jump there. Now's the time. If you're in the UP, go outside, look north. You're likely going to see some naked eye colors there. That's really bright. So also want to take note, these cameras are awesome. We have a lot of light pollution there on the buildings the camera's mounted at, but it's still bright enough to see in the distance there. So cameras are awesome. Oops. We have so many cameras here. It's crazy.
Yeah, mixing.
What camera should I take, Joel?
Go back. Is Chelsea still laggy?
It'll probably be laggy here. I'll just leave it on the sub.
Okay. Good news. Our special weather statements are expiring, and there they go from the bottom of the screen. We're back to all clear mode. There's some interesting looking clouds there on the Chelsea cam.
Yeah, I'd say so.
A lot of moisture out there tonight. A lot of scary looking clouds, as you would say.
Our chaser, Mike Laszlo, is in Manchester getting a whole lot of lightning. So he's in the exact same vicinity as this storm on this camera here.
He is not chasing. Nobody's chasing.
I got to see Mike this morning, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty beautiful on the Norway cam there. Bayport doesn't really have it. Too cloudy. But that is quite the show. So if you're tuning in, wondering what the severe weather coverage looks like right now, there's no severe weather in the state of Michigan. There's a decent line of storms. A lot of rain. A lot of lightning out there. If any gusty winds are happening right now, they would be along this line from Perry down to Fowlerville and Howell, through Pinckney down to Chelsea, and right here in near the Manchester area where there is just a whole lot of lightning ongoing. But that would be gusty winds, if any. Otherwise, rain for everybody else and a little bit of lightning. We'll go back to the Norway cam, where we are watching the Aurora, courtesy of Norway Mountain Ski Resort. There in Norway, Michigan.
If it was clear out, I bet you could probably see this down further south.
Yeah. There's a comment in chat here for you, Ryan. It says, no cameras in Macomb County. I can ask my husband if they can put one up at their new Warren fire station. The answer is probably going to
What
be
fire station is that?
the answer is probably going to be send Ryan an email.
Warren Fire Station. Okay, Warren Fire Station.
One of the new Warren fire stations.
Yeah, if they want to send me an email, it's Ryan, RYAN, at MichiganStormChasers.com. We'll get in contact. I just posted a video from Alex, one of our staff members here. He would actually got to intercept those winds in Sturgis that gusted to 61, and that video is now updated. Cedarville Cam has a few pillars shining through light pollution there. You can kind of see it there. Wow, real nice pillars now.
Holy cow. Wow, that is just exploding.
Mm-hmm. Kind of want to check to see if this one's better.
Screenshot. Honestly, that alternate cam is doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So this camera, looking at right now, this is our main weather camera, as we call it. And it's got some good hardware on it, but it's not supposed to be as good as the Aurora camera we use, which is this one right here. They both do a great job, but this one is very impressive. It's actually really impressed me. So yeah, that's just taken off. Let it load back in here. There we go. Yeah, very bright pillars. Again, courtesy of Norway Mountain Ski Resort, sponsored these two cameras.
Severe weather stream turned into an Aurora stream. That's how it usually
Really?
goes. Every once in a while.
I'd make a bet you can probably see that as far south as like Mount Pleasant,
Probably.
if not a little bit further south.
I wish there was a way to get home quickly. Holy smokes, it's a long drive back to Lansing.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Behind the scenes of After the Chase with Clayton.
Most important thing, man, just drive safe. Dark and it's rainy out there.
I'm about 30 minutes away from the house.
Joel, do you want to wrap this up? Probably could, honestly. Storms look like they're kind of weakening in nature.
Yeah.
I'm 1 hour away. I'm right around the Council City region. I got about an hour left before I get.
Not much is happening out there besides the Aurora and some good lightning shows down by the Chelsea area. We can take a look at the Chelsea cam again. But this storm does not appear to be severe in terms of its intensity at this point in time. I do want to see what's going to happen on the Chelsea camera, though, because it looks like there's a nice, perhaps, hail core about to move over the camera. So I think we should wait for that. In the meantime, Joel, do you want to run through some of our sponsors?
Yeah, I can go ahead and do that. We'll pop
We'll
them
leave the
in right
Milestone
here.
Ranch cam pulled up here while he does this.
All right, we'll go ahead and run through them again. Michigan Storm Chasers we can't do it without our sponsors, so pay very close attention. No, I'm just kidding, but do pay very close attention because you might be in a situation someday where you do need some exterior home needs, restoration, you name it. There's a bunch of different services that our sponsors provide that are related pretty much to storm things. So, again, if you ever need this list of which place is located where, you can always reach out to us, because again, we do have multiple of each type of restoration company, exterior roofing, etc., etc. So, going down the list, again, you can write down these numbers, screenshot them as we go through. StormGuard Roofing and Construction, based out of North Metro Detroit. That would be in Oakland, Macomb counties, and Washtenaw as well. That number on your screen, 248-95-3239. So I'm like distracted by that lightning right now on the screen.
I am as well. And it's very gusty too.
Yeah, those gusty winds there. Those clouds are moving really quick. Like, really quick. But continuing with our sponsors here, Lifestyle Exteriors, based out of Central Michigan. Got Katz Roofing and Siding, based out of Lansing, Potterville area. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, based out of Sand Lake, St. Clair counties. McKay Tree Specialist, based out of Southeast Michigan, for all of your tree care needs. And for West Michigan, that would be Kuiper Tree Care. FBI Buildings, for all your barn dominium needs across the Lower Peninsula. On Top Roofing, Livingston County and surrounding areas, that is your place to be. Schneider Commercial Building Solutions, based out of Lansing, for all of your commercial roofing needs. And Shield Public Adjusters, for all of your insurance adjustment needs across the Lower Peninsula. Top Gun Roofing and Exteriors, based out of West Michigan. Based out of Mason County near Ludington, A-Class Construction and Restoration. Rainbow Restoration, based out of West Michigan, Kent County. Rapid Radios, our sponsor of all Chaser communications here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Those beeps and sounds you hear behind the scenes, those are all courtesy of Rapid Radio. Is that hail or is that rain?
Hard to tell.
Tough to tell. Continuing on with our sponsors, that just came out of nowhere all of a sudden. Guardian Technologies, based out of Burton. They are the sponsors of these weather cams that you see on your screen. So, for all of your security needs, turn to Guardian Technologies.
That's hail.
Oh, yeah. American Arbor.
100%.
Yep. American Arbor, based out of Southwest Michigan, for all your tree care needs there. Got Apex Restoration, based out of Grand Blanc, servicing the thumb. And lastly, donate to the Ronald McDonald House of Detroit. Number on your screen is there if you would like to do so. That is all our sponsors here at Michigan Storm Chasers, as it appears very heavy rain or some small hail pummels the camera at the Mirestone Ranch there in Chelsea. That is just exploded. And if you have hail reports to send in, besides what you're seeing on the screen here. My goodness, it looks like snow.
It's pouring down rain there.
Oh, the light. Where'd the light go? What happened? Ah.
I was trying to get a better view on it.
Definitely hail in Chelsea, pea-size.
We could also hop out and take a peek at the Howell camera. I believe that's being impacted by some heavy rains now as well. I can find it. I don't see Howell on here though. Well, I will say this: there is a subtle aurora arc now coming out from that last substorm there. I don't see Howell in this. I must not have shared it over to this account. Oh, there he is. Courtesy of the city of Howell, looking to the west toward downtown. Nice light show there as well.
switch it back to full screen here. So this is the hail core. See on CC, there were those purples changed to that little area of yellows. That's how you can confirm there's some light hail in there. If you go switch it to VIL, there's your hail core, where the blues and the greens are at. And of course, additionally, when you look at normal base reflectivity, anytime you get to those purples, those are some very, very large raindrops. And of course, when those very large raindrops are being suspended in air that is below freezing, that can turn into supercooled liquid very quickly and produce some pea-sized hail, despite the fact that it is warm down at the surface. So there we are with that hail core at the current time. It's now heading up towards Dexter. You're up next. Wonder if we have the same situation to the north or not. Could be a tiny little hail core to the north of Howell. Kind of looked like the same thing. That storm is split now. So one in Livingston and one in Washtenaw County. This storm is also moving into the Ann Arbor Airport, although it's going to be just off to the right side of the screen on the Ann Arbor cam.
The camera there is a 180, so it is now being displayed. Courtesy there of Ace Aviation. This is facing south from the Ann Arbor Airport, just off of State Street. To the right of your screen would be the area of interest the storm will be heading in towards, or from, should I say. But as Joel said, I believe this is going to brush the camera, if not go just to the north of it.
Yeah. So that runway is southwest to northeast oriented. So the far right side of the screen there is somewhat of the western horizon, pretty much southwest though.
Yep. Thank you to Ace Aviation for sponsoring the camera, also installing it for us. Appreciate their support. Our first airport cam.
Indeed. And that camera is live 24/7 over on our alternate YouTube channel.
Yes, it is.
Michigan Weather Network. Search that in on YouTube. You can go ahead and subscribe to that one as well.
Let's go ahead and check back with the Aurora. It is still glowing out there. Not as bright, but still going. Let it load in again. But yeah, in terms of how we're looking across the state, Joel, I think we're pretty much good to wrap things up. Don't really see too much catches my eye.
Besides our pea-sized hail in Washtenaw, but again, that is sub-severe. So that would not, we would technically don't need to be live for it at the current time, but we will continue to keep you updated via posts on our social media pages, of course. And seeing that we are at the end of likely our severe for the night, and again, we expected this to wrap up kind of by 9 o'clock, and that's kind of what it's doing right now. It's going to stay electric out there for a while. A lot of instability is still left. But the current time, looks like our severe threat is pretty much done. So if you are in central Washtenaw County, Barton Hills, Dexter, Ann Arbor, light hail moving in with some gusty winds, but no statement in effect and no warning in effect at this time. I do have pixels here at 2,000 feet off the ground of 45 miles per hour. I'm not sure how accurate that is. Isn't our airport radar down?
It is, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. So again, could be gusty. If you are in Washtenaw County, let us know. But we
Joel,
have...
I just want to say that substorm was huge. That was a
bet.
ginormous substorm.
I bet. You'll have to go back and take a screenshot and throw it up on the page.
I might.
Other
Actually
than
did
that,
post a video.
or a
Go
video,
ahead,
yeah.
sorry.
Honestly, a video would be pretty cool. Time lapse or something.
I posted a video of Alex's Chase and Sturgis.
Right. Rapid fire. But as I said, we just went through all our sponsors there. So again, shout out to our sponsors who keep these streams going. Can't do it without them. If we didn't have sponsors, we'd not be able to provide these live streams to you guys. And of course, you guys as well for watching. If we didn't have viewers, we wouldn't have a need to do this. So thank you guys for always tuning in and continue to support us, whether that's free by hitting the like button and hitting the share button or following us, or monetarily through becoming a channel member. Appreciate you all the same. Don't really have anything else to say other than tomorrow is going to be your washout day. That low pressure system is moving in from the south right now, and it will be bringing an inch or more for pretty much all of the lower peninsula tomorrow here on October 19th. Right now is October 18th at 8:49 p.m. Don't really have anything else to say. Ryan, is there anything you would like to close with?
I just want to thank everybody for watching. And if need be, we'll be back live in the event one of these storms does happen to go warned again. We're watching. We're always watching. In the meantime, we're going to pop out. We're going to enjoy our evening. You guys should as well.
Absolutely.
Also, wind tomorrow. Wind's going to be a really big factor with your Sunday. So expect gusts up to 40 to 45 miles per hour. But also, it's going to be cold. It may not be like you may see 50 degrees for your temperature for your high. It's going to have to go cold with the wind out there. So it may be a good idea to grab that hoodie, perhaps a winter coat. If you're heading out the door, it's going to be rainy, it's going to be windy, and it's going to be cooler in nature. So
Absolutely.
that's what I got.
Sounds good. Also, real quick, shout out to all our chasers who went out there today. Not only launched a weather balloon, but also we're chasing out there with some views of those storms. Appreciate you guys very much. And, of course, shout out to our moderators here in chat with, at one point, between all of our platforms, I think we saw like 3,000 of you guys in here watching tonight. Moderating chat is a tough job, so we appreciate our moderators for helping out in that department. So, love you guys very much. Love you guys for watching all tonight. We'll see you guys later here at Michigan Storm Chasers for another maybe severe weather live stream, briefing, you name it. It might be snowing by the next time we do a stream like this, so we'll see.
Come on. He's turning to me at this point.
Hey, look, through the summer, I enjoy my summer, but once we get to fall, that's kind of when the switch flips a little bit. But we actually do, I will say this before I roll the outro, there is another system that's supposed to be moving through Monday to Tuesday, not snow-related, but I could see some more winds then and more rain then. So looks like we're starting to reverse our drought here in the fall. And then maybe another large-scale system around the Halloween time frame, as well as the latest models have started to hint at that. So snow, rain, we'll see. It's still 10 days out. A lot going on over the next 14 days. And we got you covered here at Michigan Storm Chasers, as always, whenever the weather strikes. So we're going to go ahead and enjoy our evenings. Maybe watch for more Aurora out there and keep you guys updated on our social media page. I'm Chief Morales Joel Fritzma alongside Ryan signing off for tonight. We'll catch you next time here at Michigan Storm Chasers, as always. Have a great Sunday, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Also, shout out real quick to Jacob Melton for becoming a member for 12 months. And Julie for her $5 super chat requesting a channel for Rigel's Eating Jinx.